Breaking right now on Storm Center, a tornado warning to tell you about here in Mississippi. No longer a tornado warning outside of New Orleans, but there was earlier with damage reported and a lot of power outages as well. This whole line of storms extending now into Alabama, but it is this right here where there is currently a tornado warning in effect. It's now in effect for Greene County, was in effect for parts of Perry County, but as you see, just within Greene County at the moment. And we're seeing a little bit of an appendage, not quite an appendage, if you kind of use your imagination a little bit, you can kind of see that perhaps somewhere in there's that little bit of perhaps a little bit of inflow, gives the radar, if the storm was all by itself, a certain kind of shape, kind of a kidney bean or eventually a hook shape. But in this case, it's associated with part of a line, so it's harder to discern that. But what this is, where the rotation is located and where the tornado is likely to be, somewhere in here. And on this path, in the direction in which it is traveling, the storm will be near Clark at around 4:54. Not then Knobtown. If this tornado warning does get extended, Knobtown right on the edge of it. And then eventually Fruitdale at roughly about 5:08 or so, assuming it travels at the same speed and the duration on the way in which it is traveling. 5 o'clock Central Time is how long this tornado warning is currently in effect. We'll let you know if that gets extended, so another 20 minutes or so. This is the severe thunderstorm warning, and with this, the tag or the little note from the National Weather Service also says tornado possible. So this is a radar indicated severe thunderstorm warning. You treat all of these warnings as a tornado warning, meaning you want to make sure everybody's inside, away from the windows, lowest possible level of your home, especially when we're associated with the line here and there could be a quick spin up. Again, the rotation, you kind of see a couple areas here where there appears to be at least a little bit of rotation. Back here in New Orleans, and this is for parts of Jefferson, Orleans, and Bernard parishes, St. Bernard parishes, a flash flood warning. So that highly urbanized area here on the south shore of Lake Pontchartrain in the city of New Orleans, where heavy rain, the heaviest of rain, has now moved on, but it is still raining. It takes a little while for the water to completely drain, or is the case in New Orleans proper, you get pumped out of the area. And we're seeing what it looked to be on some of these cameras, some very wet roads, and possibly even some roads where there could be some partial closures. Wasn't 100% sure what I was seeing there, but that could be the case. Again, this is some of the rain that has led to the flash flood warnings. Here are some of the storm reports, the tornado reports. That's the red circles here. Getting reports of damage to a house, to some buildings, and structures as well. Also the power outages that we've seen here. And you see the power outages extending to the west of New Orleans and south as well. As we go through the rest of this evening, while we continue to track this dangerous situation that is the tornado threat, severe thunderstorm warnings also a concern. Could see ping pong size hail, damaging winds, but you look at all this rain, of course, Jackie, you have to think about the potential for more flooding as well.
Yeah, and we've had plenty of those reports, including that flash flood warning that remains in effect for Orleans Parish, includes the city of New Orleans, and that's going to stay in effect until 7:30. You're looking at I-10 right now. Looks like we just had a lightning strike there, a little flash in the sky. So this is I-10 at the moment over Lake Pontchartrain. Very little traffic over there. That's the good news, but heavy downpours are continuing with storms that have been training now into the area, bringing over an inch of rainfall to the region. Now here's another look at Interstate 10, but this is at Jefferson Davis, and skies looking equally as dark and ominous along with that heavy rain. I'm not seeing, and there goes some law enforcement there as well, not seeing any ponding of water on the roadways here. I've been looking for reports in New Orleans. I've not seen any yet of flooding, but I'm sure that there is at least some ponding of water water and some low spots as well as in some of those intersections. So stay off the roads here. We've got a live shot for you too in a place like Birmingham, Alabama. Take a look at what's happening here on the roadway. Cars are backed up at length. Not sure if that's due to flooding or not. I'm checking on conditions in Birmingham, and they've had a lot of heavy rain, and that's continuing to come down right now. It looks like, there we go. Maybe that shot was stuck for a second. Now we've got traffic moving in both directions. Let's get to the maps, because there are some other areas where we're dealing with this flooding that I really want to update you on right now. All the green boxes that you're going to see on my radar here are going to show you areas that are under some type of flood alert, and this is affecting hundreds of thousands of people across the region here right now. So starting out with that flood advisory and flash flood warning for New Orleans, and there's that heavy rain that's really pushing over towards the east side of the area right now. LaPlace, you're also under a flash flood warning, but I want to take you up here towards Hattiesburg. Hattiesburg also under a flash flood warning right now. We have reports of roads that are closed and flooded and cars that have been stalled.
Weatherproofing your wallet, brought to you by Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Meet Leon the Third, Leon the Second, and Leon the First of them all. 3 generations who all bank differently with Chase. Leon's saving up for his first set of wheels. Nice try.
Really?
This Leon's paying for his paint job on the spot. And this Leon, as a Chase private client, he's in the south of France taking out cash with no ATM fees. That's because this family of Leons has Chase.
Actually, it's Leon.
Ooh la la. One bank for now, for later, for life. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Moderate to severe eczema still disrupts my skin. Despite treatment, it disrupts my skin with itch. It disrupts my skin with rash. But now, I can disrupt eczema with Rinvoq. Rinvoq is not a steroid, topical, or injection. It's one pill once a day that's effective without topical steroids. Many taking Rinvoq saw clear or almost clear skin, while some saw up to 100% clear skin. Plus, they felt fast itch relief, some as early as 2 days. That's Rinvoq relief.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers, including lymphoma and skin cancer, death, heart attack, stroke, and tears in the stomach or intestines occurred. People 50 and older with at least one heart disease risk factor have higher risks. Don't take if allergic to Rinvoq, as serious reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Disrupts the itch and rash of eczema. Talk to your doctor about Rinvoq.
Learn how AbbVie can help you save.
Hi! Need new glasses? Get more from your benefits at VisionWorks. How can you see me squinting? I can't, I'm just telling everyone. Hey!
Use your vision benefits before they expire. VisionWorks. See the difference.
Get $400 when you pair your Peloton bike, Bike Plus, or Tread with accessories, like cycling shoes, dumbbells, and more. It's Peloton's gift to you. Visit onepeloton.com. Terms apply.
Stover's makes you happy full.
Kids, dinner!
With 2 times the meat and 3 kinds of cheese, you can't be anything but happy full. Stouffer's.
I recommend Nature Made vitamins because I trust their quality. They were the first to be verified by USP, an independent organization that sets strict quality and purity standards. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand.
Falls are the #1 cause of injury to senior citizens. Acorn Stairlifts has the solution. Just don't fall. Sit, relax, ride with an Acorn Stairlift, the world's leader in stairlifts. Don't let limited mobility keep you from going up and down your stairs, even outside. Call Acorn Stairlifts now for a free information kit and no obligation quote. Why risk falling when you can safely ride?
Our Acorn Stairlift is definitely more affordable than moving.
The Acorn Stairlift has a padded seat and backrest. Safety sensors stop the chair if there are obstacles. The seat swivels and locks so you don't twist your body. And the Acorn Stairlift folds away. It even runs during power outages.
I was really surprised at how little it cost.
Call 1-800-504-9810 right now for your free information kit or visit our website today. That's 1-800-504-9810.
I travel the world to carve a path for those who aren't afraid to get a little bit dirty.
is the craziest thing I have ever done in my life.
Let's go on an uncharted adventure.
Currently in our area, 37 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, low 32. Winds north-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday, rain developing during the afternoon. High 43. Chance of rain 80%. Thursday night, rain and wind. Low 42. Winds east-northeast at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Rainfall near an inch. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Some brand new video into us here at the Weather Channel showing you some of the damage in Farmerville, Louisiana. Now, this is in the northern part of the state, kind of between Shreveport and Monroe, and you can see extensive damage here. I mean, it's hard to even tell what some of these buildings are. Look at the amount of debris that's just kind of littered around the pines. A lot of roof damage to some of these nearby homes, windows, walls blown out in some of these duplexes. It was what it looks like, at least in this community. And this was an apparent tornado here that struck over the last 24 to 48 hours across the state of Louisiana. But we've had so many tornadoes between yesterday, overnight last night, and today, and the threat is still ongoing. It wasn't just there in Farmerville. We've seen extensive damage south of there, too. Look at this different vantage point of the tornado that pushed through New Iberia, Louisiana, about 7 hours ago. We're talking just after 10:30 this morning. A massive supercell worked right through parts of New Iberia with widespread damage. In fact, the state's governor has since declared a state of emergency. Meanwhile, a temporary shelter is now open at the gym at the New Iberia Senior High School. So a lot to cover. Significant tornadoes in some very populated areas, including the latest tornado that was confirmed in New Orleans. And the damage is just beginning to come in. Widespread devastation, especially near the West Bank part of the city. New Orleans not under any tornado warnings right now, Chris, but there are other tornado warnings, and the threat continues as we head through tonight.
Yeah, 2 tornado warnings. In fact, Chris, there is a brand new tornado warning to tell you about. This one is southeast of New Orleans, where the rain is still coming down right now. This one for St. Bernard Parish and Plaquemines Parish currently. So a new tornado warning to tell you about right now, and it is this one right here. And upon closer inspection, not heavily populated, but still some population here. This is in effect until 5:15. Cities impacted by this: Port Sulphur, again, Plaquemines Parish, St. Bernard Parish is involved with this tornado warning. The storm is currently moving northeast around 35 miles an hour. And this is where that rotation is pretty obvious as well, with all of the wind that is currently the raindrops going toward the radar. That's what the green is showing us. And then you see the red going away, and that's right in here. So you get the sense that there is some pretty obvious rotation right in here. And as that is all moving in this direction, Grand Bayou, Bechtel, all potentially going to be impacted by this. Again, this going down into Plaquemines Parish, St. Bernard Parish as well. This the latest tornado warning. This tornado warning in effect until 5 o'clock, in effect until the top of the hour here, 5 o'clock Central Time, of course. And it includes Port Sulphur. Again, hopefully it'll be going just to the north of you in Port Sulphur. This is another one in Greene County. This is now in Mississippi. This tornado warning for a while did include Perry County in Mississippi. Now it is reserved just for Greene County at the moment as it continues its trek, its path. We'll see if the National Weather Service does extend this. It's getting toward the end, or towards the end of the warning here. This is the warning, and the rotating part of the storm is right in here. So again, we'll let you know here at or by the top of the hour whether or not that tornado warning gets extended or if they allow it to expire here. And then, including parts of Greene County in Mississippi, George County, and Perry County, this severe thunderstorm warning does have the tag on it, the possibility there could be some rotation within that. Nothing jumps out with the exception of perhaps there's could be some rotation in one of these two locations. So sometimes you see a little bit of rotation, a little kinking or twisting going on in what does appear to be more of a line here of storms. So they could spin up very quickly. Then here in Florida, coming on shore just to the west of Laguna Beach for parts of Bay and Walton counties. Also, this tornado warning now in effect until 5:15. This is the latest tornado warning. Just a couple minutes ago was issued here by the National Weather Service, and this is pretty close to the radar. And as we look at it, the possibly right in there as it was coming on shore, perhaps. Otherwise, we'll have to see what is to be made of that. And you can see there is a high chance here. Not only will there be tornadoes, but strong tornadoes a possibility. Damaging winds also a serious concern. Stay with us here on Storm Center.
Ever notice how stiff clothes can feel rough on your skin? For softer clothes that are gentle on your skin, try Downy Free and Gentle. Downy will soften your clothes without dyes or perfumes. The towel washed with Downy is softer and gentler on your skin. Try Downy Free and Gentle.
At Honda, we know you have to drive through the mud if you want to reach the rainbow. Brave the desert before you find the oasis. Conquer the mountain to see how far your dreams can take you. The all-new CR-V and CR-V Hybrid, part of the Honda line of rugged vehicles. Touching the stars.
Hi, I'm Susan. I've lost 84 pounds on Golo, and I've kept it off for a year. But I'd spent so much money on other products, and when I saw the commercial for Golo, the price was so much cheaper, and I thought, boy, this might not work, but why not try it? It is amazing, and it works really well.
Stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays that can take 30 minutes to an hour. I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of Power Swabs. When I met Dr. Ginniker and he introduced me to Power Swabs and I saw how effective they were and how easy they were to use, I knew we had to share it with the world. Power Swabs was clinically studied to whiten natural teeth as well as stain caps, crowns, and veneers. It's so effective, it works on stains caused by coffee, tea, red wine, and even smoking. For those of you who have that one stained tooth that's darker than the rest, Power Swabs can target that area using swab precision.
My favorite thing about the Power Swabs is that I was actually able to take the swab and really get through some of those areas that are kind of like untreated. I felt like I can immediately see the results, and I'm like, oh, I'm definitely starting to see the shades getting brighter and brighter, or whiter and whiter.
If you have yellowing between your teeth, if you have coffee or tea stains near your gum line, just snap, swab, and smile. And in each 5-minute application, you'll see whiter teeth. So stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays and start using the Power Swabs 5-minute solution.
After just 7 days, the results were awesome. Power Swabs was easy to use every day, and each day I could see it better and better, and from beginning to end, it's definitely whiter. They look clean, they feel clean. and people have made comments about it, which is nice.
Call for your 5-minute solution to whiter teeth. This holiday season, order Power Swabs and receive up to 40% off, and as an added bonus, get a free Power Swabs Quick Stick pen with your order. The Quick Stick pen is your on-the-go solution to help prevent stains from adhering to your teeth after drinking coffee, tea, or even after smoking. And in addition to saving up to 40% on your purchase and your free Quick Stick pen, get free shipping by ordering now. Dial the number on your screen or visit powerswabs.com today.
Fairlife brings more to your holiday traditions. It's ultra-filtered milk with 50% more protein, 50% less sugar, and a creamy taste. This season, turn delicious into delicious. Fairlife ultra-filtered milk.
A deadly tornado outbreak ongoing across parts of the South. Nearly 5 million people under tornado watches right now. And this is why. This is a tornado in Louisiana earlier today, destroying homes and businesses. Tornadoes have been reported across at least 3 states, including Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. This also shows you some of the tornadoes that were reported and causing damage in the Dallas-Fort Worth area yesterday. The threat is far from over. Tornadoes are still likely well into the evening tonight, not to mention tomorrow as well. I'm meteorologist Jackie Jarris. I'm alongside meteorologist Chris Bruin and Chris Warren tonight. A lot to get to, but first we want to get right to Chris Warren for the latest on the radar. We still have some warnings for flash flooding and severe weather right now.
Yeah, 3 tornado warnings in 3 different states right now. There's one in Louisiana, one in Mississippi, and the latest one here in Florida. So again, here's 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to start right now here in Louisiana. For parts of Plaquemines Parish, St. Bernard Parish until 5:15. Again, a tornado warning in effect. It has been moving along here and is now past Port Sulphur, which was in the warning. But also just looking at the pattern of the raindrops in here, this gets my attention. A little bit of a hook here. Also, there's a little bit of an appendage up to the north. So this is rotating. This is rotating. They don't look much different, do they, when you see the velocity? So velocity is the movement of the raindrops here. What you usually see, or what you may pull up on an app, this is showing us where there is raindrops, and it's the pattern of the raindrops can give us clues into what the motion of the atmosphere is. So when you understand what's going on with the supercell thunderstorm, you've got an updraft right here. So there quite often is the lack of raindrops because there's rising air, not falling rain. And then when the storm gets mature, there is some air that comes down and it wraps around. So you end up getting that look. It can be that very classic look. And then the hook look, that's the classic look. And then you can look and see all of the wind that is going toward or away from the radar. And it's right in here when you get this, when there ends up being areas of winds going opposite direction, tells you there's some spin. So we'll keep an eye on that, but want to get back to this one right here because this one actually is associated with a tornado warning. Getting close to Route 39 right now. Again, this is in effect for parts of Plaquemines Parish and St. Bernard Parish at the moment. So some spinning storms right now, which has been the story, which has been ongoing throughout a big portion of the day here. And now this is a brand new tornado warning here. This for Hancock and Harrison counties. This also for Mississippi. This also includes Gulfport, Biloxi, Mississippi as well, a location of Keesler Air Force Base where the hurricane hunters fly out of. So a lot going on here on this stretch of the coastline in Mississippi. When you look closer, there it is. Just talked about the movement of the raindrops, the rotation, and right in here, this is showing us there might even be a little bit of kink up here, a little bit of spin, but the warning for this part right here here with the wind that is currently going away from or toward the radar there. So on this path, take cover if you live in these areas on the map: Gulfport, Bay St. Louis, but also Waveland, Pass Christian, and Long Beach and Gulfport. Again, Gulfport and Bay St. Louis involved with that current tornado warning that is in effect right now. So Mississippi, Florida, Mississippi, a couple of tornado warnings, unless the other one has been expired. We'll take a closer look at that in just a moment. But again, this is the very latest tornado warning that's in effect. And yes, it does look like we are now still at 3, but a different one now in Mississippi. A tornado warning again here coming on shore. It was spotted by somebody on shore as a water spout. And this, again, when you look at it, this also still has that appendage look to it, as the storm is now, it looks like, right over the beach. The meat of the storm now are inland, several blocks inland, where that rotation would be. Not a ton of raindrops associated with this. And sometimes when that's the case, the rotation doesn't always necessarily show up as super obvious, because the velocity is based on hitting a target and understanding the radar. The Doppler portion of the radar can understand which direction it's going toward or away from the radar. Again, this is where, when it was offshore, it would have been a water spout at the time, based on the academic definition of tornadoes and water spouts. And then moving on shore, tornado warning would be a tornado coming on shore. Again, this one here in Florida, and an overview, a look at what is going on. Got a ways to go here. We'll see if they extend, if the Storm Prediction Center adds any more watch areas, but this is a particularly dangerous situation. The possibility is high for strong tornadoes. We've already seen several reports, could see several more. This right here in Water Sound, Florida, and this is showing some of the dark skies. What stands out to me perhaps would be either on the left or on the right, where it's just a little bit darker. I don't know if anybody else is seeing anything different. Yeah, but perhaps they're on the left. Again, this is a look here. Again, Water Sound, Florida.
All right, so this risk is going to continue through the rest of this evening, and we want to move the story forward because the system has been such a slow mover, Chris, that this is going to be with us through tomorrow as well. It will have a risk of tornadoes in other parts of the country as well. Want to talk about the timing of all of this, and we've seen a little bit of an evolution of the storms that have been developing here in the last couple of hours. We've had a lot of individual supercells out ahead of the main line throughout the day today, and those have been the ones that have been producing the stronger, more long-lived tornadoes. And now notice we have more of a line which is really developed here. We still have a tornado risk, but more of the tornadoes may be embedded within that line, and we'll get some bowing segments and fragmented segments here as well that could produce some damaging winds. So that's going to be a concern going forward. That said, we still have quite a bit of wind shear. This shows you the surface winds coming in out of the southeast, and then we've got the winds about 5,000 feet aloft coming in the opposite direction. So those winds are turning with height, and those winds are increasing with height. Just one of the many elements and ingredients that we need for supercell tornadoes and rotation to occur within storms. We have a very small warm sector, and this is going to be the main area to watch here for tonight. And as storms move through and towards that warm front and interact with that. So notice the much cooler air on the north side of things. So we need the warmth, we need the buoyancy. Once this cold front passes, you're going to be in the clear. So western parts of Louisiana, Lake Charles, Shreveport, Alexandria, you're all looking at better weather now. So there's the cold front, and you can see the storms firing up well ahead of the cold front. We got to watch a few of these individual ones that are coming in off the coast for those individual supercells, but we're mainly looking at that broken line right now. Future radar is showing you the timing of all of this, and notice this is going to be moving and advancing pretty quickly into southern Alabama, over towards Mobile, into Pensacola, 8, 9, 10 o'clock for tonight. Panama City will see another round of rain and thunderstorms moving through, and Tallahassee around midnight tonight before we clear things out by the time you wake up tomorrow morning here for the Gulf Coast states. Now, we still have some pretty significant Torcon numbers. They're high as a 7 for places like Mobile, into Citronelle, into Biloxi, but we've got a 5 in Gulf Shores, into Pensacola, into into Navarre, Destin area. Notice the temperatures here, notice the moisture here, and the storms that are going through. So don't be fooled once these storms move through, because you're going to get a break in the action, and then the main line is going to come through that could produce damaging winds and could produce tornadoes. So here's a look at the timing of that for you in Mobile over towards Gulf Shores into Pensacola. This is 8 o'clock, give or take a little bit on either side of that. Heading towards Pensacola, 9, 10, 11 o'clock tonight. Then some lingering rain showers, perhaps an embedded thunderstorm as a cold front sweeps on through around midnight or so. And by about 1 o'clock, we should be done with this. What about you in Panama City? I know we've got the one warning near you right now. East of you, a little closer towards Tallahassee, we've got torcons of 3. They're a little bit lower. We're going to lose some of the instability in the heating of the day. The timing is not as favorable for long-lived, strong tornadoes for you there. Here you can see 8 o'clock tonight as the storms move on in. Multiple rounds through 11, 12, 1 o'clock, maybe even some lingering showers through 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. But by the time you wake up tomorrow, you're going to be done. So if you normally go to bed pretty early, you will still want a way to be alerted when you go to bed tonight, just to be safe, as more warnings can be expected. Chris?
All right, well, we're in day 2 of severe weather for cities across the South. This comes as many areas are still recovering from Tuesday's storms. In fact, people were trapped in their homes after a tornado hit New Iberia, Louisiana. Just look at the siding falling off some of these trailer homes. From this vantage point, you can see what the tornado looked like here from above. There were reports of flipped tractor trailers, flipped mobile homes, roofs ripped off apartment complexes, and even damage to the city's medical center because of that tornado. There's some of the look of the blown out windows there at the medical center. Notice the oak trees taking a beating, and again, a pretty significant tornado that tore through parts of New Iberia. One of several communities that have been hit hard. It started yesterday morning, early for the rush hour in Dallas, Fort Worth. Let's walk you through the last 24 hours. This has been an impactful system, even though today's severe weather threat really kind of taking the cake to what we saw yesterday, with a lot more tornado warnings and confirmed tornadoes here through Louisiana, parts of Mississippi. So there's a look. We had a lot more wind damage and hail reports in the Dallas-Fort Worth, a couple of tornado reports with that one near Grapevine, Texas, and then northern parts of Louisiana. Then this morning came and we got that second burst of energy, and that really fueled things, caused a lot of rotation and several of these tornado warnings in western parts of Mississippi, also in the southern part of the state, and then working through southern and eastern parts of Louisiana. Just look at some of these reports. We'll start in Dallas-Fort Worth. Again, today was much quieter, but yesterday morning it was a different story, especially for the rush hour into work. EF0 tornado here in Westworth, and also Grapevine, a lot of damage here to buildings, and a lot of bystanders actually catching that tornado on camera. And then we look at the last 48 hours. We had some hail, wind damage reports here, but a lot of these have been tornadoes, and that's the concern. It wasn't just a damaging wind threat or a hail threat. We've had most of these storms produce more tornado warnings than anything else. Damage here to an Old Town Road, 451 north of DeBerry. This is in northern parts of Texas and Louisiana, just to the west of Shreveport. Also damage to the southwest side of town. Several tornado reports here in the eastern part of northern Louisiana. Tallulah, we've had a report of a tornado just north of I-20. Also here, not far from Natchez, emergency crews on site to some damage. And then the more recent reports of tornadoes that pushed through southern Louisiana, one in New Iberia, and also the latest ones here through parts of the New Orleans metro area, where we're still getting kind of updates on what exactly happened just about an hour ago. Now, meteorologist Reynolds Wolf, he is live in New Iberia, Louisiana tonight. That's just south of Lafayette. So, Reynolds, as you're driving in, how widespread is the damage from your vantage point from the little time that you spent here so far?
Very limited. It's really interesting. You go a few blocks away, and I mean, the landscape is unscathed. But where you do find the damage, it is pretty substantial. And one perfect example is what you're seeing right across the street from me at the New Iberia Medical Center, which was walloped by the tornado, Chris, right around the 11 o'clock hour earlier this morning. And we're told that it came on with the fury. But what's so interesting about it, despite the damage that you see to the building in relatively decent shape in the sense that it has still full power, it's got full water pressure, and it remains fully operational. Now, what you're seeing here at the doctor's offices, most of the windows towards the top, the panes are shattered or broken altogether. But in terms of the rest of the hospital, it is in excellent shape for the time being. So that is some great news. Now, people are asked if they have to go to the hospital to please use the emergency entrance. In the emergency room today, they did treat 5 patients with minor injuries, and they have since been released. But certainly some good news. No loss of life here, but we did have those injuries, of course. But Chris, I will tell you that in parts of the state, they have heavy hearts tonight. Obviously, we're trying to learn what is going on with the story that's unfolding at this hour in parts of New Orleans. But in the northwest corner of the state, up in the community of Four Forks, we did have a mother and her 8-year-old son that passed away just yesterday afternoon. So again, certainly a lot of heartache. But we've got a long night to go. We truly do. So let's send it back in the studio and to Chris Warren.
Yeah, thank you so much. Reynolds will be checking back with you. Want to get back to the radar right now. 4 tornado warnings currently active. The latest one I'm going to show you here in just a moment. A quick reminder of all the rain we've seen and the rain yet to come that could lead to some more flash flooding. Here is some of that rain and the red outlined areas here, and this one. All tornado warnings. This one in south central Alabama. This tornado warning includes Covington and Crenshaw counties. This is a radar indicated tornado warning. This tornado warning in effect until 6 o'clock. The rotation will be somewhere in here, right over Highway 29 at the moment as it continues its movement to the northeast. Another tornado warning, this one in Mississippi. This includes Hancock and Harrison counties, Biloxi, Gulfport, and Long Beach in that tornado warning. Then this one still in effect now, observe tag on it. Plaquemines and St. Bernard parishes will update you on these dangerous storms coming up after this.
Oh, hey, it's the Donovans. You know, legend has it, the Donovans had a barbecue that fed half a town.
You know what I heard? They drove cross country just to walk their dog.
Apparently, they climbed a mountain to save some wild horses. That's what they say.
That's what they say.
Toyota, let's go places.
Get $400 when you pair your Peloton bike, Bike Plus, or Tread with accessories, like cycling shoes, dumbbells, and more. It's Peloton's gift to you. Visit onepeloton.com. Terms apply.
Tomorrow, be the first.
Let's do it. Yeah!
To return to Pandora.
Let's get it done.
Avatar, The Way of Water, rated PG-13, tomorrow.
The refrigerator is Greg's happy place.
My kids eat, but I finally figured it out.
We can get all that we need, and then a little bit more at Walmart.
Uh-oh. Now this is going to be...
With Sonic's 2 for $5 menu, you get 2 delicious things for only $5, which is helpful if you struggle with decision making. The Sonic 2 for $5 menu.
Sonic.
Angie's List is losing the list. From now on, it's just Angie.
Oh, I get it. You're all Gen Z now.
Not exactly. Hi. It's because now you can compare upfront prices and book a service instantly.
Sounds easy.
Super easy. Start your home project at Angie.com.
Did you know you can save with GoodRx, even if you have insurance?
You know, I thought my prescription was covered until it wasn't, but GoodRx helps with that.
I work for myself, so I buy my own insurance. And I still check GoodRx.
I'm on Medicare. I check GoodRx because it can beat my copay. Who wouldn't like that?
Even if you have insurance, GoodRx can help you save.
Okay, we'll see you next time.
Another good reason to check GoodRx.
For COPD, ask your doctor about Breztri.
Breasttree gives you better breathing, symptom improvement, and helps prevent flare-ups.
Breasttree won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. It is not for asthma. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Don't take Breasttree more than prescribed. Breasttree may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur.
If you have COPD, ask your doctor about Breasttree.
I recommend Nature Made vitamins because I trust their quality. They were the first to be verified by USP, an independent organization that sets strict quality and purity standards. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand.
Welcome home. I wasn't expecting this. That is the craziest thing I have ever done in my life.
Relapsing MS isn't the only thing I have going on. That's why my doctor and I chose Keachi. Keachi is different. It's the only B-cell treatment for RMS I can take at home once a month. Keachi was proven superior at reducing the rate of relapses, active lesions, and slowing disability progression versus Aubagio. For me, a once-monthly treatment just works for my schedule.
Don't take Keachi if you have hepatitis B, and tell your doctor if you have had it, as it could come back. Keachi can cause serious side effects, including infections. While no cases of PML were reported in RMS clinical trials, it could happen. Tell your doctor if you had or plan to have vaccines, or if you are or plan to become pregnant. Keachi may cause a decrease in some types of antibodies. The most common side effects are upper respiratory tract infection, headache, and injection reactions.
When I'm ready, I spend less than 1 minute a month taking Keachi. How I spend the rest of my time is up to me.
Ask your doctor about treating RMS with Keachi.
Currently in our area, 36 degrees, under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy this evening, then becoming cloudy after midnight. Low 32. Winds north-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday, rain developing during the afternoon. High 43. Chance of rain 80%. Thursday night, rain and wind. Low 42. Rainfall near an inch. Winds could occasionally gust over 40 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
The power of the Weather Channel, now available to everyone.
This is epic.
Trusted live coverage when it matters most is now yours to stream with the Weather Channel TV app, real-time radar, and maps that let you track all the action.
Let's get into the detail.
Personalization, customization, hundreds of hours of your favorite shows, and so much more. There's never been a better way for everyone to watch the Weather Channel. Available now on these platforms. Go to streamtwc.com to start your free 7-day trial.
As the severe weather threat continues here in the South, places like Hattiesburg, Mississippi are finding themselves inundated with rain. Not only the severe weather threat from tornadoes and other severe weather types of weather, but also just rain coming down to the tune of 2 to 4 inches, radar indicated here in the western part of Hattiesburg. And what's that done is taken simple streams. And yes, this is a simple stream. I was looking on a map to understand where we are. I found this road. I found a trickling stream is what this should be, and as you can see, it has turned that stream into a raging river. We actually got here before the first responders did, and people were making the good decisions to turn around. Remember, just 6 inches of water can take a grown person off their feet and wash them downstream, and not much more than that, about a foot of water can start to move your car. So pulling into that, even if you were in a large, high-profile vehicle, it would likely take you downstream, and that can turn into a very dangerous and potentially deadly situation. A good reminder, turn around, don't drown. That water can absolutely be deadly. In Hattiesburg, Mississippi, Justin Michaels, the Weather Channel.
Thanks so much, Justin. Unfortunately, not everybody in Hattiesburg has been making the right choices, and there are reports now of other flooded roads where cars have been stalled. So there is a flash flood warning that remains in effect there, and we've got quite a few of them that are lined up from Louisiana on into Mississippi, even into Alabama at this time. The Hattiesburg flash flood warning stays in effect until the top of the hour with still a considerable threat. And notice the heavy rain here still south of town, so we still could get another inch or two of rainfall. Now, south of there, the flooding is also a big concern. This is parts of St. Tammany, Tangipahoa, and Washington parishes, including Pearl River County in Mississippi. That's until 6 o'clock as well. And then Orleans Parish, as well as St. Bernard's and Jefferson Parish, including the city of New Orleans, under a flash flood warning until 7:30. West of there, areas like Laplace, including St. Charles and St. John the Baptist parishes, under a flash flood warning until 6:15. Radar's been estimating we've had as much as 4 inches in a few spots. These dark yellow areas, that's where the heaviest of rain has fallen. It's right on the state line between Mississippi and Louisiana. There's querying just a couple of samplings of what radar is estimating, so a lot of spots between about 2.5 to 4 inches of rainfall. Flood alerts remain in effect across much of eastern Mississippi into southeastern parts of Louisiana and northern parts of Alabama, so heads up Birmingham and Huntsville. You've had a lot of rain, and there's still a lot of rain to come. This shows you how much we've had just in the past week, where some areas have had nearly a foot of rain. That's right, 8 to 12 inches. It's been very soggy across the southeast, and flooding will be possible overnight tonight through tomorrow morning. Chris, I know breaking news, more tornado warnings.
Yeah, in all right now, Jackie, 6 tornado warnings. 1 in Louisiana, 2 in Mississippi, 1 in Alabama, and 2 in Florida right now. You have 3 that are ahead of the main line, and then with the main line or just ahead of it, these tornado warnings that are currently in effect. This one we've been tracking for a while now, Hancock and Harrison counties. This still does include, in fact, the main part of this storm right over Bay St. Louis, and even some rotation just offshore. Pretty obvious here. A little bit broader over here, but this still does include Gulfport, and it does include Lyman and Biloxi, Mississippi. Take cover if you are in any of these locations right now. That is one of the tornado warnings. Here's another tornado warning, also in Mississippi. This for George and Greene counties. We've been watching this storm here in Greene County, now including portions of George County. This tornado warning in effect, the rotation somewhere in here until the top of the hour as we look at this storm, possibly, I would say, in progress here. It had been in progress because there's a little bit of a drop out there. So seeing when you look at where the rotation is, and then you look at where there is likely something in the atmosphere that's not a raindrop, it could be leaves or it could be portions of a structure. Something is in the air. At least that's the indication from the correlation coefficient. Sometimes you get a little bit of a dropout or some noise, but in this case, when it's lined up right with some rotation, gives you a pretty good confidence that there is an ongoing tornado there, or had been recently. And then here in Covington and Crenshaw counties, this in Alabama, another tornado warning. This is one of the tornado warnings in Florida, Bay and Washington counties. And this, some broad rotation here, but still take cover if you're within these areas. One of the newer ones between Apalachicola and Port St. Joe, about to come on shore. Take cover if you're within this red outlined area.
What's that taste like, Pops?
You never had a Guinness?
It looks dark and heavy.
It's actually light on its feet and smooth as velvet.
Like you, when you played ball. Did he used to be a tennis player?
Sure did.
At Honda, we know you have to drive through the mud if you want to reach the rainbow. Brave the desert before you find the oasis. Conquer the mountain to see how far your dreams can take you. The all-new CR-V and CR-V Hybrid, part of the Honda line of rugged vehicles.
Fairlife brings more to your holiday traditions. It's ultra-filtered milk with 50% more protein, 50% less sugar, and a creamy taste. This season, turn delicious into delicious. Fairlife Ultra Filtered Milk.
Dude, you coming? Alka-Seltzer Plus Power Max Gels with more concentrated power. Because the only thing dripping should be your style. Plop Plop Fizz Fizz with Alka-Seltzer Plus. Also tried for fast sinus and pain relief.
For just a little bit more, I can get you unlimited minutes, data, and text, 6 hotspots, concert coupons, cable subscription, dental cleanings.
We need all that?
Do we need all that?
I wouldn't think so. You should use Consumer Cellular. They have everything you need, nothing you don't.
I'll throw in this tiny little fan. Car wash voucher? Light up soap dispenser.
Think you lost? Get the same coverage as the major carriers at half the cost. Save up to $250 a year on all the talk, text, and data you need. Consumer Cellular.
Angie's List is now Angie, and it's easier than ever to get your projects done right. With Angie, you can connect with top pros and see ratings and reviews. And when you book and pay through Angie, you're covered by our happiness guarantee. Check out Angie.com today. Angie, and done.
Uh-oh, you heard a screech outside at night, but you can't see what it is because there's not enough light. You need the Bionic Floodlight from Bell & Howell, the solar-powered motion-activated multi-directional floodlight that showers a super span of light right where you need it. Simply stake it in the yard or mount it anywhere around your home. The onboard solar panel absorbs the sun all day to energize a flood of light at night. No wires or installation frustration. Watch. The instant motion is detected. The Bionic Floodlight triggers 108 high-intensity LED bulbs on 3 separate panels. That instantly blasts an area of over 1,000 square feet with bright, penetrating light, then automatically shuts off after the motion stops. Each panel is fully adjustable to direct the right light to the right spot. The Bionic Floodlight is the versatile wireless, safety, security, and outdoor lifestyle light you'll love. And it's from Bell & Howell, the brand name your family has trusted for over 100 years. No more arriving to a dark driveway or house at night. Place them in the ground to illuminate walkways and entryways. Add an evening accent light to your garden or mount it to keep unwanted critters away. Adjust the panels to light your deck and your food on the grill at the same time. Add light by the hot tub or pool without dangerous electrical wires. Host the nighttime neighborhood hoops games. And enjoy the great outdoors at night, right out your back door or in the backyard. Move it anywhere for any reason and in any weather in any season. Best of all, it's backed by our exclusive Bell & Howell Bionic 10-year satisfaction guarantee. Get the Bionic Floodlight by Bell & Howell, and right now it's yours for just $29.95. But wait, call right now and you can get a second Bionic Floodlight for 50% off. And we'll even ship it to you free. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-467-6290 or go to bionicfloodlight.com. So call 1-800-467-6290. That's 1-800-467-6290 or order online at bionicfloodlight.com.
You're watching the Weather Channel. This is Storm Center, and I'm meteorologist Chris Warren. Now, we are tracking an ongoing severe and tornado threat right now across the South, and there are several tornado warnings to tell you about right now. All of these currently in effect, 6 in total, and we're starting right now here, right along the shoreline here, the Gulf in Mississippi, in Harrison County. This tornado warning in effect includes Gulfport, includes Biloxi, Long Beach right now, and then this one to the northeast in George and Greene counties. This tornado warning in effect until 6 o'clock. And we look at this one. This is where there is the rotation right in there. If you're in any of these tornado warnings, if you have a tornado warning right now where you are, make sure you take cover. And here is another tornado warning and another one right here. We watched this one. This one had a waterspout reported with it as it came on shore. This one between Port St. Joe and Apalachicola in Franklin and Gulf counties in effect until 6:45. Some very tight rotation right in there. So a waterspout about to come on shore as a tornado here. Dalton, you were about to show us the distance there, I believe. I went ahead a little too fast there. Thank you, sir. You can see about 3 miles or so, and it's just a matter of minutes here, not very many of them, before it makes its way onshore. Here in Bay and Washington counties, this tornado warning still has that pretty obvious appendage right there associated with this storm, and the rotation would be somewhere in here, about to go over Route 20. Again, also, if you are in the areas here, the best bet, if you're in a tornado watch right now, best bet is to stay inside. As long as it's a sturdy building, and that goes for areas where there is the concern for flash flooding as well. Now, another look at the big picture here. So we're seeing some of these individual storms with tornado warnings on them. We have to keep, and we will keep our eye on these individual storms out here, and some of these going out ahead of what is like the main line in here. So once these all, once this catches up with all of these, that'll be a good sign. But until that happens, we're still watching these individual storms out ahead of the main line. And even with the main line, there's still the possibility for some rotation. There's some warnings on that right now. But through the next few hours here, there remains a particularly dangerous tornado watch here. It's a particularly dangerous situation, is what that PDS stands for. And there's a high chance of EF2 or stronger. So the stronger of the tornadoes, and even EF0 is a tornado that can do some damage. That remains a possibility, and several still possible tonight. We want to take a look at what some of these tornadoes have done. Meteorologist Reynolds Wolf is on the ground now live in New Iberia, Louisiana tonight. Hello, Reynolds.
Hello. You know what's amazing, Chris, is when we saw images of this tornado earlier, and it has been splashed all over social media, when you see something like that, it has a dramatic look. Clearly, it's something that just catches the eye, but then you often wonder, what is the ground truth going to be? So first you see the storm, first you see the tornado, and then when you're on the ground and you put eyes on things, it gives everything a whole new light. And the light on this one, I will tell you, is a favorable one. Favorable in the sense that there were no fatalities, and that is a wonderful gift. However, in terms of damage, there is plenty of it that you'll find around the community, but it is interesting, and I was talking to Chris Bruin about this last hour, where you'll go 100 yards in one direction and things are unscathed, but you'll go 100 yards in the opposite and it's absolute waste. Now, what we have over here, you'll notice, is this is the medical center here in New Iberia. This was hit by the tornado right as the clock struck 11 o'clock in the morning. What's amazing is you see a lot of the damage up on the building, but look, there are lights on inside. So the power is still, they never lost power, which is amazing. They also have full water pressure. And although those are your doctor's offices, the rest of the hospital is completely functional, which is fantastic. And they did treat 5 people. 5 people were treated with injuries. Minor injuries, mind you, and then released. So that is certainly a good news. So if you certainly need something that is, something to be happy about, that is it. I will tell you, though, that here in New Iberia, the Sheriff's Department has been asking people to please stay off the roadways. But as you might imagine, when something like this happens in your community, there's a lot of natural curiosity, of course. So people have been driving by. Hey, how's it going? I've been driving by through much of the midday, afternoon, and now into the evening hours. It's beginning to abate a little bit, but still plenty of activity there as the cleanup continues. A lot of damaged cars, a lot of damaged trees, and of course some of these trees that you have in the area have been standing for centuries. It's again quite a end to this day, but for the night ahead, it is still very active. Keep it here on the Weather Channel. Could be very dangerous for so many. It's all about staying safe. We'll see you at you.
Stover's makes you happy full.
Kids, dinner!
With 2 times the meat and 3 kinds of cheese, you can't be anything but happy full. Stouffer's.
The holidays can be hectic, but Harry and David makes it simple to send something special to the people I love. My auntie out west can get her sweet and savory fix. My brother gets a Christmas brunch. And my favorite client can have a banquet in a box. Spread joy this year with Harry and David.
When you serve a Boar's Head sweet slice ham, something magical happens. Born from a family recipe, it's expertly smoked and crafted for carving. This is the ham that will bring everyone and everything together. Boar's Head sweet slice ham. Compromise elsewhere.
Dude, you coming?
Because the only thing dripping should be your style. Plop Plop is Fizz with Alka-Seltzer Plus cold and flu relief. Also try for Fizzy Fast cough relief.
Oh, what a good time we will have. You can make it happen,
Voltaren, the joy of movement.
Get $400 when you pair your Peloton bike, Bike Plus, or Tread with accessories, like cycling shoes, dumbbells, and more. It's Peloton's gift to you. Visit onepeloton.com. Terms apply.
This right here is confidence in a bottle.
Not only does it change you on the outside, but something in the inside, knowing that you're looking better.
It makes me feel so much more confident than I've ever felt in my life.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Well, today we're going to see one for ourselves and let you be the judge. It's called Plexiderm, and lifestyle expert Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video, and you'll notice the model has bags underneath his eyes and some sagging, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face, and that's how easy it is.
All right, what's the active ingredient?
Okay, so it's silicates that are minerals found in shale rock, and what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes in as little as 10 minutes, no prescriptions, and very little effort. Even watching the video, this is a real it's a model, but it's a real guy with real bags underneath his eyes.
My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera. This is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. Feels great. Looks even better.
And I did this to my father. We were at home. So we applied it to his under eye bags. And let me tell you, we were so excited. In under 10 minutes, they visibly disappeared from view. And now it is literally part of both of our daily routines. He calls me every single month saying, "Hey, Annette, I'm out of Plexiderm, please send me more." And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles. The way you want to do it is you want to have a clean, dry face. You use a small amount because it's so powerful. You have high school reunions, you have events you want to go to, you want to look years younger, this is it.
This holiday season is the best time to try Plexiderm at our startup price of only $14.95. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
That is definitely him.
Dude, that's just a guy taking a little break with a peppermint frosty.
I gotta ask him. Hello.
Hi.
Mind if I sit? Okay.
When it's Frosty time, choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new Peppermint Frosty.
This is the Weather Channel, and you're watching Storm Center right now. Meteorologist Chris Warren, along with meteorologist Chris Bruin, meteorologist Jackie Jarris, tracking an ongoing and dangerous severe weather threat, including the possibility for more tornadoes. Tornado watch in effect. Still a particularly dangerous situation. Tornado watch. Several tornadoes possible. Some strong, long-lived tornadoes also in the mix here. The possibility for that. The tornado watch in effect until 8 o'clock Central Time. So we are seeing it now kind of being shaved away. It was a much bigger area, but as the main line continues to march to the east, as it continues going that way, we're seeing conditions stabilize a bit and the chance for some of the worst of the weather going away for areas to the west, but still in the red and even a little bit outside the red. Some strong storms do remain a possibility. And with that, tornado warnings still in effect, and still 6 tornado warnings to tell you about right now that are associated with some ongoing strong thunderstorms. A lot of lightning. The past 15 minutes, almost 1,700 lightning strikes associated with these storms. Right along Interstate 10, tornado warning in effect for Harrison County. This includes Biloxi. It includes Gulfport still. Storm's pretty much right over Gulfport at the moment, and it's going to be heading over Interstate 10, where there is still some very heavy rain coming down. The rotation here, this is some rotation that we're looking at just to the south of Gulfport right now, and that looks like it's scooting right along the beaches. And then to the north of there, a tornado warning currently for Choctaw, Clark, and Washington counties until 6:15. And this is also some obvious rotation here. Almost looks like a bow tie with the winds that are going toward and away from the radar, backing up the correlation coefficient, trying to determine if there is something in the atmosphere that is not raindrops here. And as you look at this, you see the winds going in different directions, really close to each other. So that's where you figure out where the tornado would likely be. And this is the timing for that. Any of these areas take cover right now. See the approximate timing and through time here. Still seeing this tornado warning in effect until 6 o'clock. We'll see if this gets extended or perhaps is allowed to expire, because what happens quite often when the tornado warned storm gets close to the end of the warning time period, or the end of the line, if you will, they'll often extend it. So we'll let you know if it does get extended or if that one goes away. Still some pretty obvious rotation. And just as we're talking, they're shaving it down a little bit here. And you see the rotation somewhere in there. And again, if you're in these areas, take cover right now. And then to the south of there, couple in Florida, 2 tornado warnings surrounded by severe thunderstorm warnings, as well as you look at this storm, Bay and Washington counties. This one between Port St. Joe and Apalachicola, Franklin and Gulf counties under a tornado warning. Again, still some time to go before the threat is over, Jackie. Still that particularly dangerous situation, tornado watch in place.
Yeah, and notice no watch in effect, where we have a couple of those warnings right now. I'm talking to you here in Florida. The Storm Prediction Center is monitoring this area. About a 40% shot that they're going to issue a watch here. So we'll give it a little bit of time and see what happens. But this is going to be the next area to continue to monitor for any of these individual supercells that could develop, rotate, produce tornadoes. It could last for a while. Back here is the main line, the cold front still back behind it. But once that main line passes, that's when we're starting to get these watches and counties cleared off, because you will be in the clear and done with the severe weather threat by that time. So we still have plenty of shear that's available, and wind shear is defined as either winds that are changing direction with height in the atmosphere or winds that are changing speed with height. In this case, we have a little bit of both. And so we still have ample shear within this area. So any storms that get going with enough lift and enough instability in this very narrow warm sector are very likely to rotate yet again. So southern parts of Alabama, the panhandle of Florida are going to be the areas to watch in addition to this line in the hours ahead. Up here, we're in that cooler sector. We're wedged in. It's a chilly rain in a place like Atlanta. Birmingham, I'm more concerned for you for flooding than anything else. Here's a look at our future radar indicating that there may be some isolated storms still out here by 8-9 o'clock yet tonight, but this is ultimately going to take over and be the main show to track. Embedded tornadoes, damaging winds will all be possible as this moves towards Panama City, even by midnight tonight. So this will be a few rounds of storms in some of these areas by 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're going to be done with this for this area, but still have to keep an eye on Florida as additional storms will be possible even into central Florida tomorrow afternoon.
We're getting in some new video showing us conditions in Hattiesburg, Mississippi earlier today as strong winds and heavy rain hit the city. We also know there was some widespread flooding as storms put down a lot of rainfall.
Head up, nothing gonna take me down. Feel the pressure building inside my bones. It feeds my body, it's liquid gold.
Kim Crawford, make it amazing.
Where can you holiday shop for less and experience a whole lot more? Lowe's, actually. Get our best deals of the holidays backed by the Lowe's Price Promise.
MS tries to stop me.
MS is like riding into headwinds, but I keep pushing forward.
Does MS define me? No, it does not.
I take Ocrevus, an infusion treatment that's 2 times a year.
A prescription for adults with relapsing or primary progressive forms of multiple sclerosis, Ocrevus is proven effective in reducing relapses in RMS and slowing disability progression and reducing brain lesions in RMS and PPMS.
Don't take Ocrevus if you've had a life-threatening allergic reaction to it or have Hep B. Tell your doctor about vaccinations or if you've had colitis or Hep B.
B, as Hep B could come back. A common side effect of Ocrevus is infusion reactions. Some may be serious and require hospitalization. It can increase your risk of infections, which can be serious and may decrease some immunoglobulins. PML is rare but may happen with Ocrevus. It can lead to disability or death. An increased risk of colitis and cancer, including breast cancer, may exist.
We take Ocrevus.
That's more progress, less progression.
Ask your doctor about starting with 2 times a year Ocrevus.
This winter, meet the heroes of performance. Only available at the Acura Season of Performance.
Dude, you coming? Alka-Seltzer Plus Power Max gels with more concentrated power. Because the only thing dripping should be your style. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. With Alka-Seltzer Plus. Also tried for fast sinus and pain relief.
This holiday season, give your family the gift that keeps on going.
Her very own Energizer Bunny?
Energizer Ultimate Lithium. The #1 longest lasting AA battery.
The holidays are here, and your list is a mile long. But whether it's something festive for Mom's new place in Phoenix, something unique for your equally unique Aunt Sil and Uncle Phil, or something, literally anything, for your daughter's trombone teacher, ProFlowers helps you do the holidays your way.
This holiday season, save $300 on our most popular e-bike, the Adventure. The Adventure's powerful motor has a top speed of 28 miles per hour and a range up to 45 miles. Go off the beaten path with its 4-inch fat tires to roll over rock, sand, and snow. Integrated lights will give you visibility day and night. Visit Aventon.com or any one of our Aventon's 800-plus partner locations nationwide.
I travel the world to carve a path for those who aren't afraid to get a little bit dirty.
That is the craziest thing I have ever done in my life.
Let's go on an uncharted adventure.
Currently in our area, 36 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy this evening, then becoming cloudy after midnight. Low 32. Winds north-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday, rain developing during the afternoon. High 43. Chance of rain 80%. Thursday night, rain and wind. Low 42. Rainfall near an inch. Winds could occasionally gust over 40 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
You're watching the Weather Channel. This is Storm Center. I'm meteorologist Chris Warren. Right now, we're going to take a look at the active weather, what the radar is showing us at the moment, and what you see here, big line of storms and some individual storms with some tornado warnings out ahead of that main line. But even with the main line, not completely connected line here, but you really kind of get a sense where the main business of this system is, where that front is pushing through. And there is some rotation, some spin. And this right here, we're seeing some spin. While it doesn't look super obvious right now with the reflectivity, there is some rotation, and we see that right here. This is the rotation associated with the Doppler portion of the radar. So the velocity here showing that there is likely a tornado ongoing right here just south of Highway 90. So just south of the beach here as it is moving and potentially continuing to move in this direction. And perhaps now that one's observed, Dalton? This one. Okay, so this one now, yeah, it has the tag observed on it, and this for Choctaw, Clark counties. So if you're within this area, including Coffeyville, take cover right now. And this is why it's so important also to have people, whether it's law enforcement or trained and experienced storm trackers, to actually get the observation so we can relay that, because honestly, it doesn't look super obvious when you see this until you get this, right? So what this is showing that the radar is telling us enough, whether it is the movement of the raindrops or the fact that there's something in the atmosphere, which this is, that's not raindrops. When those match up, tells us there's a tornado in progress. So Coffeyville, take cover right now. Still a dangerous evening ongoing here, Chris.
Well, a deadly tornado outbreak ongoing across the South. Nearly 5 million people under tornado watches right now. And this is why. This tornado in Louisiana destroying homes and businesses today. Now, earlier today, a powerful tornado tore through New Iberia, Louisiana. It caused major damage at a local medical center there and beyond. Our partners at KADN have a closer look at the damage.
A destructive tornado has now left parts of New Iberia with at least 3 people reported injured. One resident says when the tornado touched down, it left him speechless.
See this big black cloud and it's hitting the ground in its sugarcane field. And we just watch it throw debris all up in the air, and in the background you can see like transformers blowing out.
Officials reported several trailer homes have been flipped and severely damaged. Landlord Douglas Shake Snyder owns 2 apartment complexes where an entire roof came off, saying his first thought was to check on his tenants, grateful no one was severely hurt.
I spoke to the lady who was in the one that fell down, and she had minor injuries to my knowledge. I know she's at the hospital right now. 50 years I've been doing this, and I've never seen this before.
Praying for help to come as soon as possible.
Pray that FEMA comes in and helps, and the government comes in and helps, because we try to give affordable housing to residents, and this is going to substantially affect us.
The Iberia Medical Center sustained considerable damage as car windows were shattered and trees and branches were pushed into the parking lot. Mayor Freda DeCourt tells News 15, while this is unfortunate, the city is blessed and will overcome this tough time.
This is South Louisiana. We pull it together, and we don't wait for people to fix it. We fix it ourselves, and that is true for our whole culture. We're going to get those people that have damages or have been a victim of this in contact so that they can get some help.
Yeah, Louisiana hit very hard, not just today, but yesterday too. So this has been a 2-day severe weather outbreak of sorts from Texas into parts of the Gulf Coast, and will continue east into the Florida Panhandle, even northern Florida for tomorrow. So there's a look at the recap of the radar. Yesterday we had a lot more damaging wind, but notice today, man, we have seen numerous reports of tornadoes, many of which have been confirmed. We've had damage that has been widespread between Mississippi, Louisiana, and now working into parts of the Gulf Coast. And you can see some of these reports. We'll start back yesterday early in the morning here around the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, and we did have a couple of confirmed tornadoes, one near Grapevine that caused damage to several commercial buildings. It even crossed a very busy thoroughfare there, kind of in between Fort Worth and Dallas. And then also an EF0 tornado to the west of Fort Worth. And then Shreveport, unfortunately, that's where we had an EF2 tornado to the south and west of the city in Parish. This is where we had a fatality here in Keachi, and a lot of damage between homes, buildings, and even many downed trees blocking roads. And more recently, this afternoon, in fact, during the rush hour, we had a significant tornado work right through the heart of the New Orleans metro area. Reports are still coming in, but some significant damage here on the West Bank, also near Chalmette, and also into Harvey.
Dude, you coming?
Because the only thing dripping should be your style. Plop Plop is Fizz with Alka-Seltzer Plus Cold and Flu Relief. Also try for Fizzy Fast Cough Relief.
I'm Jimmy Dean, and that sunrise something. I honestly feel that way about Jimmy Dean sausage. Get yourself a large chunk of that good morning feeling. Oh, that smells good.
Stover's makes you happy full.
Kids, dinner!
With 2 times the meat and 3 kinds of cheese, you can't be anything but happy full. Stouffer's.
With Sonic's 2 for $5 menu, you get 2 delicious things for only $5, which is helpful if you struggle with decision making. The Sonic 2 for $5 menu.
Sonic. Copperfit Energy Socks, the world's first easy-on, easy-off graduated compression sock, just got better. Now with arch support technology for better arch and ankle support and all-day relief right where you need it.
I'm so excited about these socks.
These were fantastic. The more I wore them, the better it got.
You're sitting there all day long. You lose circulation in your legs. When I put the compression socks on, I've never felt anything like it before.
An advanced stretch fabric blend for an easy-on, easy-off fit, combined with our graduated compression fabric to help reduce swelling, relieve tired, achy muscles, and provide energizing support.
No more swelling, no more achy, tired feet.
I'm wearing the socks right now. I've been in this gear all day long. It totally exceeded my expectation.
Our most advanced graduated compression fabric woven into our easy-on, easy-off sock to help reduce swelling discomfort from prolonged sitting or standing.
I wear them every day. My legs are not swollen. That's the whole point of wearing them.
If you have to wear a compression sock for whatever reason, these are a game changer.
A soft cushion footbed to help reduce impact discomfort, combined with our new arch support technology for targeted compression to help ease arch and ankle fatigue.
It's very exciting to wear something and then see that it really made a difference. I don't understand why all socks aren't like this.
The most comfortable, energizing compression sock you will ever wear. Guaranteed or your money back. Get your Copperfit Energy Socks with new arch support technology now online at GetEnergySocks.com for only $19.99. Or call 1-800-974-0524. Order right now and we'll include a second pair of compression socks free.
Give it a try. It will change your life.
I can never go back to regular compression socks again.
Give Copperfit a try. You won't be disappointed.
Ask for the original by name, Copperfit Energy Socks.
At Honda, we know you have to drive through the mud if you want to reach the rainbow. Brave the desert before you find the oasis. Conquer the mountain to see how far your dreams can take you. The all-new CR-V and CR-V Hybrid, part of the Honda line of rugged vehicles.
Touching the stars.
An ongoing tornado outbreak in the South tonight. Tornadoes reported across 3 states, including Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. We saw tornadoes yesterday in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, today in New Orleans. Take a look at these photos. We just got them in from the fire department in New Orleans. And we also have video that you can see of the rain coming down and even video of the actual tornado on the right-hand side of your screen. There's some of the photos that we have from New Orleans, from the fire department there, showing you some of the structural damage. And then you can see, wow, large pieces of wood, 2x4s perhaps, just piercing the side of people's homes. It's difficult to even tell what we're looking at here, maybe somebody's home and some structures. We know that there have been some injuries, and we know that a few people have died in this outbreak over the last 2 days. I'm meteorologist Jackie Jarris. I'm alongside meteorologist Chris Bruin and meteorologist Chris Warren. We want to get to Chris Warren right now because he's on the radar. We've got a brand new tornado watch and multiple warnings still in effect.
Yeah, so this threat for more tornadoes will continue ongoing for more of Alabama, Florida, and parts of Georgia now until 1 o'clock in the morning. You see Panama City also in this, Crestview, Pensacola, Dothan, Eufaula, Troy, and Alabama up to Montgomery, and then also in Georgia, Bainbridge, and right up to and about almost to Tallahassee there as well. So several more counties within the tornado threat as highlighted from the Storm Prediction Center from Norman, Oklahoma, who who issues the watches. They see the big picture of the scale of all the ingredients of what's going on, and then the actual warnings are where the local National Weather Service offices are seeing enough on the radar, getting reports to issue the actual warnings themselves. So the watch is that the conditions, the big picture, conditions favorable for the development of tornadoes, and of course the individual warnings mean that a tornado is about to happen or is in progress at the moment. This is the particularly dangerous situation. Tornado watch that's in effect until 8 o'clock here. So we're getting toward the end of that for Louisiana and for Mississippi. I say that because you really see the back edge to where there had been some very dangerous storms earlier, but now not nearly as much rain. The atmosphere stabilizing a bit. We don't have the dynamics. The ingredients essentially are moving farther to the east. The stuff that helps create these storms is moving out of Louisiana, and it's still hanging in there in southern Mississippi, but it's moving out. It's about to get into southern Alabama, as we see still some tornado warnings in effect. Biloxi no longer into the warning, but in Harrison and Jackson counties here in Mississippi, tornado warning does remain in effect with some of the rotation somewhere in here, some broad rotation still being indicated on radar. And then across the state line into Alabama, and there are 2 tornado warnings currently in effect here. And these tornado warnings in effect for Clark and Washington counties. This one in effect until 6:45. Pretty obvious rotation right here. So this, again, right now, tornado likely in progress there. And then to the north, also in parts of Clark County, a little bit north in Clark County, including Coffeyville, in effect until 6:15. Observe tag on this. This is the one that did have a little bit earlier, did have some debris associated with it, as indicated by the correlation coefficient. This is the correlation coefficient right now, but what we were looking at a moment ago was the velocity. So at one time, likely right in there was when there was the tornado that was in progress. So again, it's still very dangerous conditions right now, favorable for the development of tornadoes across portions of here, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and now more so into Florida and Alabama and parts even of Georgia as well. This tornado warning is currently in effect for Franklin and Gulf counties until 7:15. And you see also severe thunderstorm warnings have been ongoing. So damaging winds are possible, large hails possible across parts of the South. The rotation associated with this coming on shore and continuing past in between Apalachicola and Port St. Joe. And so, again, this one is now moving inland a bit more, but still several warnings ongoing right now. And, of course, Jackie, we are expecting that this threat, this trend will continue potentially for the next several hours.
So another big threat is going to be flash flooding. Right now, 6.7 million are under some type of a flood alert. This is a look at some of the conditions today in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, where a flash flood warning was in effect. There were many roads that were closed and covered in water, and a few cars getting stalled out there as well. So let's take a look at where we have some of the flood alerts that remain in effect right now. All these green boxes that you can see there are where we have some flash flood warnings that remain in effect. Birmingham not in it, but just to your south and west, Tuscaloosa is under a flood advisory until 8 o'clock. We've had repeated heavy rain and thunderstorms rolling on through, and that's what's headed your way, Birmingham. So just know that you could have some flood issues here as well. Hattiesburg, your flash flood warning has been allowed to expire. That's the good news, but use a lot of caution if you still have to travel, as the rain is still coming down, but the worst of the water has receded. Now to the north and east of Hattiesburg into Wayne County, still a flood advisory until 6:30 here for tonight. Now we also have St. Tammany Parish that's under a flood advisory, and Hancock and Harrison counties in Mississippi, where we've had a lot of heavy rain, and New Orleans. Notice the rain has has moved out now. That's the good news. But we did have the flood reports across parts of the city. Still have our flash flood warning in effect until 7:30. So remember that even after the rain stops, it takes a while for that water to recede. So stay off the roads. And of course, we're still doing cleanup and analyzing what's going on and figuring out communication still in parts of the metro area because of the tornado that moved on through. This shows you how much rain has fallen just in the last 6 hours. These gold areas near Hattiesburg down towards Bogalusa, that's as much as 3 to 5 inches of rainfall. So there are many, many reports in this area between 2 and as much as 5 inches. I think the general trend has been between 1 and 3, pretty widespread. So some areas have been canceled now from the flood watch, but they're still in effect for a few other spots. Oxford, Mississippi, northern parts of the state, southern parts of Tennessee, about the northern half of Alabama still under flood alerts, including Birmingham and the Huntsville area. So those are going to be the areas we'll have to continue to monitor through the overnight hours tonight and into tomorrow morning. This shows you how much rain has already fallen just in the last 7 days. It's been very wet and very unsettled across the southern tier of the U.S. And take a look at this area in particular, from central Louisiana to just south of Jackson. Some of those areas have had nearly a foot of rain just in the last 7 days. So keep your eyes on areas, river, creeks, and streams that could still be rising over the next couple of days. Flash flooding will be most likely in this bright yellow area, but still a possibility wherever we get these training rain showers and thunderstorms that will continue tonight into Alabama, into Georgia, and even into some of the higher elevations here in the southern Appalachians. Chris?
Well, we're in day 2 of severe weather for cities across the South. This comes as many areas are still recovering from Tuesday's storms. People were trapped in their homes after a tornado hit New Iberia, Louisiana. Just look at the siding that was falling off of some of these trailer homes. There was also reports of flipped trailers and roofs ripped off of some apartment complexes. There's the medical center. A lot of windows blown out, believe it or not, but they're still fully operational, even with that amount of damage. Power and water pressure still working, even after several of the windows were blown out. And we showed you this video at the top of the show, but I want to get a closer look. This was the tornado in New Iberia, Louisiana. So look how violent it is. You can see it here. In some perspectives, it's a much larger vortice where it almost looks like one big wedge tornado. And then other times you see multiple little spin-ups. I've seen different vantage points of the same tornado, and a lot of times you'll have several different spins that are violent, and depending upon where those go, you can have significant damage in different parts of the community. All right, so let's get a look at some of the storm reports. It wasn't just New Iberia. Over the last 48 hours, we've had significant severe weather from Texas, even parts of Oklahoma, and then getting into southern Arkansas, and especially across Louisiana and Mississippi. Today, we've had a lot more in the way of tornadoes. Yesterday, we did have some tornadoes, but it was a lot more damaging wind around the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. So you can see how things have really evolved over the last 48 hours. There's a recap of the radar as this all tracks east, and the severe threat nowhere near done. This will continue overnight tonight and even into tomorrow, although the threat comes down just a little bit. Something else that we'll watch, say, across parts of Florida as our storm system pushes off towards the east coast. Well, the director of the New Orleans Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness, Colin Arnold, on the phone with us now. And Colin, thanks for joining us. First off, can you give us an update on the situation here in New Orleans, especially some of the hard-hit communities, say, around the West Bank and Arabi?
Yes, thanks for having me. We definitely have, some challenges with power and a potential tornado that touched down on the West Bank of the New Orleans and the metro area in Jefferson Parish. It then crossed the river, it appears, and struck a similar track to the tornado that struck Arabi in Chalmette and St. Bernard Parish back in March. We have damage in the city in that area of the West Bank we call Algiers. We have some injuries there. They've all been transported to area hospitals. My understanding is that they are stable. That's all of the injuries that we know of at this point. We certainly power has been restored to much of the area other than that area of the city on the west bank of the Mississippi River, Algiers. And so we have a lot of public safety out there right now. Firefighters and EMS were out into that area immediately to treat any injured. My understanding is that there was a collapse of a residence and also a person potentially struck by debris. There are both residential and commercial structures that are impacted by this and damaged. We have, photographic actual evidence from that scene that this has occurred. Obviously, we can't, say for certain that this was a tornado that will come tomorrow with assessments by the National Weather Service. But realistically, I think what we're looking at was a tornado this evening.
Yeah, some of the damage is pretty astounding here outside of the New Orleans metro area. Are there roads closed? And I know this happened during rush hour, so maybe people who live in these neighborhoods still haven't even made it back in yet. What would you say to them?
I would say at this point, the weather is improving, and if you are going to, attempt to get back to your neighborhood, to your residence, use extreme caution. I'd wait maybe a little while if you can, particularly in that area of the West Bank where we have a lot of public safety activity going on. Let those responders do their job and respond accordingly to the damage that's out there and any injured people. I believe that our situation is stable at this point. We're not receiving any further calls for service at our 911 center. But we're definitely in response mode right now and trying to attend to, the damage that we know about. We have public safety professionals from fire, EMS, and police out doing damage assessments of the area. I would not be surprised if there is debris in some roadways and potentially power lines down, and people need to be very careful about that. And then, we're going to continue to work this as a tornado incident and to an ultimate conclusion.
Now, really quickly, we got about 30 seconds, Colin. Has there been any shelters set up for people who maybe lost some of their home or don't have a safe place to return to?
Yeah, we're going to continue to assess that in the city of New Orleans. We're not seeing that so far. I know that some of our neighboring parishes from Hurricane Ida still have folks that are living in, trailers. And so that was set up for them ahead of the storm because those are, can be, not the ideal place to be during a tornado. We'll continue to assess that. And if the need arises, we have professionals from our health department, from our recreation center, recreation centers available to set up a shelter should we need to.
All right, Colin Arnold with the New Orleans Homeland Department and Security there for the update of the ongoing situation of the aftermath here of that tornado in New Orleans. Thanks for the update. And Jackie, the threat for tornadoes is nowhere near done, although New Orleans improving, this shift pushing east.
Yeah, New Orleans no longer in the tornado watch. The threat is over there. Cold front moving through, and they'll see some drier weather their way. But out ahead of that front, we still have a risk here tonight with multiple warnings that remain in effect. So it's kind of a small area in this warm sector where we have that risk. Out ahead in this area is where individual supercells could be forming and producing tornadoes that track for a while. And then we have this line of storms with embedded rotation within that line and the threat for damaging wind. So this is going to be ongoing yet through the rest of the night tonight as this heads through Alabama, works its way through the panhandle of Florida and on into Georgia as well. The severe weather risk will go down a little bit, but it will not be gone as we head into tomorrow. So torcons still remain high in places like Mobile, Biloxi, Gulfport, but a little bit lower in a place like Pensacola. But if there's a number, there's a risk. We still have 5s here. We have tornado warnings remaining in effect in Jackson, Alabama, and thunderstorms moving through Mobile.
Dude, you coming?
Alka-Seltzer Plus Power Max gels with more concentrated power. Because the only thing dripping should be your style. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. With Alka-Seltzer Plus. Also tried for fast sinus and pain relief.
It's nice to unwind after a long week of telling people how Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. He's a natural. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hi! Need new glasses? Get more from your benefits at VisionWorks. How can you see me squinting? I can't. I'm just telling everyone. Hey!
Use your vision benefits before they expire. VisionWorks. See the difference.
Stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays that can take 30 minutes to an hour. I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of PowerSwabs. When I met Dr. Ginniker and he introduced me to PowerSwabs and I saw how effective they were and how easy they were to use, I knew we had to share it with the world. PowerSwabs was clinically studied to whiten natural teeth as well as stain caps, crowns, and veneers. It's so effective, it works on stains caused by coffee, tea, red wine, and even smoking. For those of you who have that one stained tooth that's darker than the rest, PowerSwabs can target that area using swab precision.
My favorite thing about the PowerSwabs is that I was actually able to take the swab and really get through some of those areas that are kind of like untreated. I felt like I can immediately see the results, and I'm like, oh, I'm definitely starting to see the shades getting brighter and brighter, or whiter and whiter.
If you have yellowing between your teeth, if you have coffee or tea stains near your gum line, just snap, swab, and smile. And in each 5-minute application, you'll see whiter teeth. So stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays and start using the PowerSwabs 5-minute solution.
After just 7 days, the results were awesome. PowerSwabs was easy to use every day, and each day I could see it better and better, and from beginning to end, it's definitely whiter. They look clean, they feel clean, and people have made comments about it, which is nice.
Call for your 5-minute solution to whiter teeth. This holiday season, order PowerSwabs and receive up to 40% off, and as an added bonus, get a free PowerSwabs Quick Stick pen with your order. The Quick Stick pen is your on-the-go solution to help prevent stains from adhering to your teeth after drinking coffee, tea, or even after smoking. And in addition to saving up to 40% on your purchase and your free Quick Stick pen, get free shipping by ordering now. Dial the number on your screen or visit powerswabs.com today.
Stover's makes you happy full.
Kids, dinner!
With 2 times the meat and 3 kinds of cheese, you can't be anything but happy full. Stouffer's.
First thing that morning, I woke up and saw that things were not good.
And I thought, well, this is where I'm going to die.
You take tons of photos. You snap, save, to never look at them again. So share. Right from phone to Aura Frame. Share you. No, the real you. Share adventure or misadventure. Share whatever this is. Share from near, afar. Share so they feel like they're there. Share happy things. Share anything. Snap it, frame it, share better. Aura, the connected picture frame.
So I just got my new scent diffuser from Hotel Collection, and I'm absolutely in love with it already. I set it up this morning, and I just got home from work, and it feels like I walked into a hotel. It's safe for children and pets. This is definitely the best scent diffuser I've ever had.
Currently in our area, 36 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low 32. Winds north-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday, rain developing during the afternoon. High 43. Chance of rain 90%. Thursday night, rain and wind. Low 42. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Of the Weather Channel, now available to everyone.
This is epic!
Trusted live coverage when it matters most is now yours to stream with the Weather Channel TV app, real-time radar, and maps that let you track all the action.
Let's get into the details.
Personalization, customization, hundreds of hours of your favorite shows, and so much more. There's never been a better way for everyone to watch the Weather Channel. Available now on these platforms. Go to streamtwc.com to start your free 7-day trial.
As the severe weather threat continues here in the South, places like Hattiesburg, Mississippi are finding themselves inundated with rain. Not only the severe weather threat from tornadoes and other severe weather types of weather, but also just rain coming down to the tune of 2 to 4 inches, radar indicated here in the western part of Hattiesburg. And what's that done is taken simple streams. And yes, this is a simple stream. I was looking on a map to understand where we are. I found this road. I found a trickling stream is what this should be, and as you can see, it has turned that stream into a raging river. We actually got here before the first responders did, and people were making the good decisions to turn around. Remember, just 6 inches of water can take a grown person off their feet and wash them downstream, and not much more than that, about a foot of water can start to move your car. So pulling into that, even if you were in a large, high-profile vehicle, it would likely take you downstream, and that can turn into a very dangerous and potentially deadly situation. A good reminder, turn around, don't drown. That water can absolutely be deadly. In Hattiesburg, Mississippi, Justin Michaels, the Weather Channel.
Thanks, Justin. Of course, flooding particularly dangerous in the nighttime hours when it's dark out and you just can't tell how deep the water is. Sometimes it's even hard to see the water that could be covering the road. So always find an alternate route and don't take that chance. Now, things are better in Hattiesburg right now, but we still have multiple other flash flood warnings and flood alerts in effect. And I'm keeping an eye on conditions here just off of Interstate 20. In Alabama, Tuscaloosa under a flood advisory right now, including the city of Tuscaloosa. That's until 8 o'clock tonight. Notice the heavy rain that's been ongoing for quite some time already and still underway right now. So stay off Interstate 20. There's Hattiesburg. The rain almost coming to an end. Your flash flood warning has been allowed to expire. A flood advisory north of there, though, very near Waynesboro and parts of Wayne County. That's until 6:30. So just less than 10 minutes left on that flood alert. There's been a lot of rain. Radar estimating about 4 inches, just over that, in the town of Hattiesburg. And while Justin's location where he was, folks were turning around and finding an alternate route, there were other areas of town where roads were flooded and cars did get stalled as a result of driving into those flood waters. So just another example that you don't want to do that. Here's some of the reports. Water rescue from a stalled car on West Hattiesburg, and there's the reports of multiple street flooded. Not to mention, we had tornado warnings in the vicinity, including a report of a tornado north and east of Hattiesburg. So that was a close call for those folks there. Still a flash flood warning in effect for Orleans Parish, including you in New Orleans, Jefferson Parish, St. Bernard Parish also included in this. This expires coming up at 7:30 Central Time, so just a little over an hour from now. Notice a lot of the rain has moved out. We've got a little bit of light rain coming back in. I don't think that will aggravate the ongoing current situation, but always keep in mind, even after the rain stops, it takes a little while for all that water to recede and begin to drain out of the region. Here's a look at the rainfall amounts just over the last couple of hours here today. Most areas saw anywhere between 2 to 3 inches of rainfall. And unfortunately, that kind of complicated things immediately in the aftermath of the tornado that came through there, because there was so much heavy rain that went on for a while, a good hour after the tornado storm moved on through. This shows you some of the other rainfall totals estimated across the area. Over here towards Morgan City at about 2.5, about 3.5 just south of Hattiesburg, and Bogalusa had about 4 inches of rainfall. We haven't had too much yet into the Panhandle of Florida and Georgia, but those are going to be some of the next areas that I'm watching, as there's been a lot of heavy rain here in central parts of Alabama, and that's all heading eastward. So that warm front is going to be advecting through the region and lifting on through with the cold front trailing back behind it. So there will likely be another couple of rounds of rain and some embedded thunderstorms through the region that could still cause some flooding. We've got flood watches in effect, northern Mississippi, including you in Oxford, and through about the northern half here of Alabama, including Birmingham and Huntsville both. All right, let's get the latest. I saw the flash. We got another tornado warning here, Chris.
Yeah, a couple tornado warnings right now. Still watching the one there in Alabama, but one more here. The storm that we've been watching that came on shore in Florida between Port St. Joe and Apalachicola. So there is another couple tornado warnings to tell you about. Well, now a few tornado warnings to tell you about here. And these are overlapping here. And this is Clark and Washington counties here until 6:45. I see some of the rotation right here. And then just to the south, another one with McIntosh well within the outlined area. We'll get back to the latest on this coming up here. This is Storm Center.
For COPD, ask your doctor about Breztri. Breztri gives you better breathing, symptom improvement, and helps prevent flare-ups.
Breztri won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. It is not for asthma. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Don't take Breztri more than prescribed. Breztri may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worse in breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur.
If you have COPD, ask your doctor about Breztri.
MS tries to stop me. MS is like riding into headwinds, but I keep pushing forward.
Does MS define me? No, it does not.
I take Ocrevus, an infusion treatment that's 2 times a year.
A prescription for adults with relapsing or primary progressive forms of multiple sclerosis, Ocrevus is proven effective in reducing relapses in RMS and slowing disability progression and reducing brain lesions in RMS and PPMS.
Don't take Ocrevus if you've had a life-threatening allergic reaction to it or have Hep B. Tell your doctor about vaccinations or if you've had colitis or Hep B, as Hep B could come back. A common side effect of Ocrevus is infusion reactions. Some may be serious and require hospitalization. It can increase your risk of infections, which can be serious and may decrease some immunoglobulins. PML is rare but may happen with Ocrevus. It can lead to disability or death. An increased risk of colitis and cancer, including breast cancer, may exist.
We take Ocrevus.
That's more progress, less progression.
Ask your doctor about starting with 2 times a year Ocrevus.
Come on, oh beauty. Hey. Are you ready?
This baby's coming.
Get $400 when you pair your Peloton bike, Bike Plus, or Tread with accessories, like cycling shoes, dumbbells, and more. It's Peloton's gift to you. Visit onepeloton.com. Terms apply.
Stover's makes you happy full.
Kids, dinner!
With 2 times the meat and 3 kinds of cheese, you can't be anything but happy full. Stouffer's.
Fairlife brings more to your holiday traditions. It's ultra-filtered milk with 50% more protein, 50% less sugar, and a creamy taste. This season, turn delicious into delicious. Fairlife ultra-filtered milk.
Better luck next time.
Who said that?
I did.
But I haven't even thrown yet.
You threw good money away when you bought those glasses. Next time, go to America's Best, where 2 pairs and a free exam start at just $79.95. It's a quality exam worth $59.
Can't beat that.
Can't beat this either. All right, I'll give you that one. And apparently that one. 2 pairs and a free exam starting at just $79.95. Book an exam today at americasbest.com. Somebody sign this kid.
Tyson boneless buffalo bites and hot wings have that tasty kick of flavor, so they're perfect for any get-together. If there are any left when your guests arrive. Tyson Anytizers Chicken. More kicks of flavor, more smiling snackers, more to love. Tyson.
Oh, what a good time we will have. You can make it happen, girl.
Voltaren, the joy of movement.
I tried everything to remove fabric odors, but my clothes still smelled. Until I finally found New Downy Rinse and Refresh. It doesn't just cover odors, it helps remove them up to 3 times better than detergent alone. Find New Downy Rinse and Refresh in the fabric softener aisle.
Right now, this is a live look here at Charles Peak in Clark County, Mississippi. driving along. Roads don't look too bad at the moment. The windshield wipers are moving along here. All right, so we'll keep an eye on what Charles is up to, and we're also keeping an eye on the radar. I'm a meteorologist Chris Warren, along with meteorologist Chris Bruin and meteorologist Jackie Jarris, keeping you ahead of what is an ongoing threat for severe weather. We'll keep an eye on Charles's picture here. The heavy rain extending from southeast Louisiana all the way up to Montgomery, and embedded within that a couple of tornado warnings here west of Monroeville. So two, along with this line of storms, kind of somewhat broken or segmented line of storms here. We can see kind of these little inundations, and every once in a while there can be a little bit of rotation embedded within there, and this is that here with this particular tornado warning that is in effect here. So we are seeing some rotation with that one, and this one here in Clark and Washington counties. Also some rotation there just west of Jackson. And then here, a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings and a tornado warning right here in just north of Apalachicola. This is the latest one here for Florida, for parts of Franklin and Gulf counties. And you can see here the border of Franklin and Gulf counties. Tornado warning is in effect until 6:45. Now, the area where the warning is, the tornado is likely located, and you can kind of see here with the velocity, is getting toward the end of the warning itself. So we'll let you know if there is any in addition to this, or if it expires from the National Weather Service here. Hard to say if there's an obvious drop out there. Could be, but again, was one of more of the tools that we look at. This is all happening here well within an area where the tornado watch does remain in effect for parts of Florida. Now also with the latest one that goes until 1 o'clock in the morning, the extreme southwest part of Georgia, the pretty much the southern half, or at least southern Alabama, in the tornado watch at the moment. And you can also see how the particularly dangerous situation tornado watch is getting shaved off here as the temperatures are cooling down quite a bit. So winds initially coming in like this, and then behind it, like in Baton Rouge, midday today, it was 70 degrees, even lower 70s. Now it's in the 50s as that colder air is coming down in from the northwest. So we are watching the transition now with this, and behind this front as well. Once we get through the bumpy ride of this, the showers and the thunderstorms, Chris, the weather, while it's going to be a bit colder, will be improving. Finally, some areas are going to start to see some sunshine by the end of the week.
Clear things out, right? Well, a deadly tornado outbreak ongoing across the South. More than 3 million people under tornado watches right now, and this is why. This is one of the tornadoes in Louisiana destroying homes and businesses today. Look at this. This was from New Iberia, Louisiana. And look at this vantage point that you see. I see several mobile homes or trailers right ahead of it. These were untouched, but man, not a safe spot to be. This actually went through parts of New Iberia earlier this morning and caused some substantial damage to some subdivisions and even to parts of town, like the medical center, producing widespread damage there. This was one of several tornadoes we've been tracking here really over the last 24 and even 48 hours. This whole setup originated yesterday in Texas. That's when we started to get into that instability. You see all of the warnings. We had a couple of confirmed tornadoes in the Metroplex, and then things really ramped up last night, and then especially this morning and this afternoon, tornadoes all across the state of Louisiana, Mississippi. You can see again as we track this through, pushing off towards the east and even hitting Metro New Orleans with some substantial damage near the communities of Araby and the West Bank. Just opposite of the French Quarter in the Central Business District. So there's some of the reported tornadoes, just a couple. We had a lot more damaging wind reports here over the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. The Grapevine, though, there was a tornado there that was caught by a lot of people heading into work and school yesterday morning. We had several tornadoes just to the southwest of Shreveport, and this was unfortunately where we had a fatality in parts of Caddo County or Caddo Parish, and then also into the northeastern part of Louisiana. Near Farmerville, we had significant damage. Also on the southwest side of Lake Pontchartrain, and there's some of the tornado reports. Now, it's hard to say if this was all one tornado or maybe a couple of twisters that tore through the eastern part of the New Orleans area. Also north of Lake Pontchartrain, some damage being reported. Chalmette, damage to buildings. Harvey, we mentioned Araby. Remember, Araby was hard hit too earlier in the year, back in March. So to get 2 tornadoes of this magnitude, pretty impressive and rare.
Honey, are you throwing the throw pillows?
Relaxing to watch TV can be hard.
Remember how they stack?
Actually, watching TV?
HBO app.
It's easy with Dish. Live TV and streaming apps together with Dish.
When you get a chip in your windshield, trust Safelight. This couple was headed to the farmer's market. When they got a chip, they drove to Safelight for a same-day repair. And with their insurance, it was no cost to them. That's service the way you need it.
Safelight Repair, Safelight Replace.
After 15 years of the Share the Love event, Subaru and our retailers have donated over $250 million to charity. In fact, Subaru is the largest corporate donor to the ASPCA and the National Park Foundation, and the largest automotive donor to Meals on Wheels and Make-A-Wish. Get a new Subaru during the Share the Love event, and Subaru and our retailers will donate $300 to charity.
Dude, you coming? Because the only thing dripping should be your style. Plop Plop is Fizz with Alka-Seltzer Plus cold and flu relief. Also try for Fizzy Fast cough relief.
This is our premium platinum coverage map, and this is Consumer Cellular's map. See the difference?
No, I don't see the difference. Do you?
Well, that one's purple. Exactly. That's our premium.
What does that mean?
I think it means it costs more. That's what makes it premium.
That doesn't make sense, does it?
No, but it is premium.
I'd just go with Consumer Cellular.
Thank you.
Got the same.
Get the same coverage at half the cost. Save up to $250 a year on all the talk, text, and data you need. Consumer Cellular.
Attention, this is an important message. If you suffer from lower back pain, hip pain, and shooting pain down your legs, you could be experiencing a sciatic nerve pain attack. Now, researchers have discovered a simple switch to instantly turn your pain off. It's called Be Active Plus, the ingenious acupressure system that applies gentle targeted compression to turn off sciatic nerve pain signals for instant relief. Just slip it on, adjust the strap, and the pain is gone.
Oh, wow. It's like a button just turned the pain off.
Wow, I can feel the pain relief already.
The pain is gone.
I feel a lot of relief already.
Sciatica is an excruciating pain that radiates from your lower back down into your legs. But simply apply Be Active Plus to the trigger point on the calf just below your knee and live, work, and be pain-free.
The instant I put it on, it was like an immediate relief. I was able to stand up straighter. Oh my God, this thing really works.
The secret is the AcuPoint pressure pad that applies gentle targeted compression to the trigger point so the pain is turned off. In fact, it works so well, the FDA cleared Be Active Plus as a medical device.
With Be Active Plus, it can help apply pressure to the trigger point on the side of the calf to help relieve sciatica.
Wear it while walking, playing with the kids. Plus, it can be worn discreetly under clothes. Be Active Plus is the revolutionary drug-free way to make sciatic nerve pain go away. Call or go online to order your Be Active Plus acupressure system for the special TV discount price of just $29.99. If you don't begin to get instant relief, send it back and owe nothing. But to make this the most pain-free offer on TV, you can get a second one. Just pay a separate fee. Call or log on to buybeactiveplus.com. Order now.
Stover's makes you happy full.
Kids, dinner!
With 2 times the meat and 3 kinds of cheese, you can't be anything but happy full. Stouffer's.
Welcome back to Storm Center, everybody. I'm meteorologist Jackie Jarris. We want to update you on the watches and warnings as our tornado outbreak remains underway across parts of the South. We have a tornado watch that remains in effect until 8 o'clock tonight for southwestern parts of Alabama, including Mobile, into southern Mississippi, including Biloxi, and just a small portion of Louisiana. Notice New Orleans no longer under that tornado watch. That's the PDS watch, or a particularly dangerous situation. Now, within the last hour, a brand new tornado watch has been issued east of there that includes Montgomery, Alabama, as well as Dothan, the panhandle of Florida, including Apalachicola, Panama City, Destin, Pensacola, and that watch is in effect until 1 o'clock. It is not a PDS watch, but there still have been multiple warnings here, and tornadoes could continue to develop in the hours ahead and touch down and cause damage. Here's a look at all the warnings. These are the individual cells out ahead of the main line, and then our main line has had some embedded rotation within it. So this is going to come in a couple of rounds for a lot of folks here across the region. So we'll start you out back here in Alabama, where we're keeping an eye on conditions around Jackson as well as into McIntosh. This is for Clark and Washington counties. A tornado warning until 7 o'clock. This is Doppler radar indicating rotation on this particular cell, and then Clark and Washington until 6:45 on the northern one. So there were two different areas of rotation, but this is really the main one, and that's going to be the big warning that takes over. There was some broader rotation there west of Jackson, but it's really this one here that's still west of 43 that's most concerning. So timing that out for you and mentioning some towns that could be affected by this. Hawthorne, you need to get to your safe place right now. You have about 5 minutes before that storm is right on top of you. Waggerville at 6:54, Carson at 7 o'clock, so that's 20 minutes for you in Carson. And Jackson, that would be arriving at 7:04. But again, keep in mind, you've got a nasty storm on top of you right now, so why wait? Just get to your safe place and wait for both of those storms to be passing on through. Now over here towards areas of Florida into the Panhandle, we do have two cells that we're also watching here with tornado warnings on them, including Liberty County and Franklin County until 8:15. And there you can see a pretty tight rotation right now. This is just to the west of 65. Folks got to be off the roads here and in their safe place for that tornado warning, and that's going to be in effect for the next half an hour or so. This is just a couple of the cells that have been rotating here for today. It's been a very active, very busy day. We've had multiple areas that have been damaged. We've had injuries, and unfortunately, we've even lost a few lives in the last 2 days. Chris Bruin has more on some of the damage we've been seeing. Chris?
Yeah, we've seen several reports of tornado damage, impressive sites, especially out of the New Orleans metro area and also across not just Louisiana, but Mississippi. Our Charles Peak came across the damage from one area in particular in Clark County, joining us on the phone. Charles, we're looking at your video you took a little earlier this evening, and we're looking at widespread damage. I mean, I don't know if this was a trailer home. That's what I would guess, but it's completely and utterly destroyed.
Yeah, Chris, it was actually a regular home. It was not a modular home, but it was completely destroyed. It was not a brick home, but it was destroyed. That was on a tornado I was tracking up into Clark County. Dr. Knapp, we were talking about it on air to the northeast of Shabuta, Mississippi, and we had a huge CC drop out there, and likely a long damage path there. And I was able to get there, talk to the sheriff, Kemp, and he said at this point in time, no injuries. I also got to talk to one of the residents, Amy. It's going to be Annie, and she talked about the herring experience that she had there.
Yeah, from your conversations with
my phone kept going off, and then I heard a noise. I was asleep, and I heard a noise like wind and stuff, and it started hailing real bad, and I ran in there and told my brother, I said, get up, let's go get in the tub. And then we started hearing trees break, and something came through, and it was a big tree coming in my other bedroom back there. And stuff started falling off the wall and everything. So we just stayed in the tub till it was all over. Lights went out. We lost power and everything. But we were steady thanking God that, He saved us.
Yeah, Chris, it was a scary situation for her. She had the warnings on her phone, and then so they got into their safe spot, and a tree came down through the roof and destroyed one of her bedrooms, and glass breaking and stuff. And you can just imagine how harrowing it was for her. But fortunately, they were okay there, and they got to their safe spot. They took the warning, got in their safe spot, and they were okay and able to share with us their experience.
All right, Charles Peak, thanks so much for the update there on some of these communities that we don't want to forget about. I mean, these are hard-hit areas, not just in some of the larger cities, but some of these smaller towns through Mississippi and Louisiana that have been hit very hard over the last 48 hours. We're going to have more continuing coverage on the ongoing tornado warnings, as well as who's next in line for severe weather, as well as our winter storm as well.
Fantasma solo dices desaparezco. Está muy fuerte como.
For people who love their vehicles, there's only one name on their holiday list: WeatherTech. Laser-measured floor liners that fit perfectly in the front and rear, seat protector to guard against spills and messes, cargo liner, bump step, and no-drill mud flaps to protect the exterior, and cup foam keeps phones secure and handy. Shop for everyone on your list with American-made products at WeatherTech.com.
At Walmart, save on thousands of gifts for everyone on your list. The savings are here all month long. Plus, get delivery on your gifts in as fast as 1 hour, right up to Christmas Eve. Shop Walmart online or in-store today.
Oh, what a good time we will have. You can make it happen again.
Voltaren, the joy of movement.
Stouffer's makes you happy full.
Kids, dinner!
With 2 times the meat and 3 kinds of cheese, you can't be anything but happy full. Stouffer's.
Angie's List is now Angie, and it's easier than ever to get your project done right. With Angie, you can connect with top pros and see ratings and reviews. And when you book and pay through Angie, you're covered by our happiness guarantee. Check out Angie.com today. Angie, and done.
I'm Jimmy Dean, and that sunrise something. I honestly feel that way about Jimmy Dean sausage. Get yourself a large chunk of that good morning feeling. Oh, that smells good.
Famous bowls are only $5.
That's a lot less cash than all this stuff.
Crispy, creamy, plus there's gravy.
Where's the KFC? I've had enough.
Gift yourself a $5 KFC Famous Bowl in classic or spicy.
Big news. Right now at Spectrum Mobile, unlimited is just $29.99 a month. And write this down, your next line is free. This will be on the pop quiz questions.
That's not on the quiz.
Should be.
Yep.
You, sir.
He picks up 2 before he's pushed out of bounds.
Or to rephrase it, you get nationwide 5G for just $29.99 and your next line is free! What I'm saying is, Spectrum Mobile's coming at you with a big old $29.99 a month and your next line is free. Over. Can I do the thing with the...
No.
Or you could say you get reliable coast-to-coast coverage for only $29.99. Your next line is free. Or you could say you get unlimited for $29.99. And I hope you guys are writing this down. You get reliable coast-to-coast coverage for only $29.99. And your next line is free. And your next line is free. 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 And your next line's free. Get unlimited for $29.99 a month, and your next line is free for 12 months. Call, click, or visit a Spectrum store today.
I travel the world to carve a path for those who aren't afraid to get a little bit dirty.
That is the craziest thing I have ever done in my life.
Let's go on an uncharted adventure.
Currently in our area, 36 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low 32. Winds north-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday, rain developing during the afternoon. High 43. Chance of rain 90%. Thursday night, rain and wind. Low 42. Here's our 7-day outlook.
This is Storm Center, still tracking an ongoing severe and tornado outbreak across the south with a lot of lightning associated with these storms right now, and that's where we're going to begin. We see a somewhat segmented line of storms. If we go to the radar right now, you can see that right here through South Louisiana all the way up into Alabama, and embedded within this a tornado warning and then a tornado warning over here in the Florida Panhandle. We begin here in Alabama. And this is a tornado warning that's in effect until 7 o'clock for Washington County, and includes Wager and Wagerville. And this storm itself is moving at about 50 miles an hour, so it is clipping along. It is going to be on top of Highway 43 in a few moments here. And then also over here across Florida, this a couple of storms we're watching. Had this one go right by Apalachicola. This one's not going to miss Apalachicola, or going to clip West Point there. But as you see the storm here to the north, the tornado warned storm, this is moving at about 25 miles an hour. This tornado warning is in effect for Franklin and Liberty counties until about 8:15 or so. And then as you look at the big picture here, this severe weather here that we're watching and have been watching this whole time, the past couple of days, has been associated with a large system. So we've been watching this winter storm move across the U.S., and you can kind of make out where that counterclockwise swirl is. And here's the cold front that comes down here. Much cooler air is coming in as the warmer air is still out ahead of this storm. But I want to go over to meteorologist Jackie Jarris with a look at what has been a huge blast of snow and wind here for parts of the upper Midwest, Jackie.
Pretty incredible when you think about it, that we have a tornado outbreak ongoing at the same time as a blizzard. This is a very potent, very far-reaching storm, and Diaz blasting parts of the northern plains and upper Midwest. And this has been ongoing for days already. Not to mention the snow. We also have wind gusts that have been topping 60 miles per hour. This is some video from Sandstone, Minnesota. There's so much more where this has come from, and it's not just Minnesota. The Dakotas have been hit so hard. The Nebraska Panhandle just has been brutal. And take a look at conditions right now. You know, you look at the radar and you say, there's, maybe a little bit of light snow, but there's already been nearly 2 feet of snow in some of these areas. The winds have still been howling. There you can see 44-mile-per-hour gusts in Rapid City, but this has been creating blowing and drifting, and we've had drifts as much as 6 feet being reported in South Dakota. Right about here is where Mitchell, South Dakota is. That's where the Corn Palace is, if you've ever been there. I-90 is closed from here all the way over to Rapid City, even in areas where it's not snowing, because the wind is blowing snow that has already fallen across the interstate, and it's impossible to keep that clear. In addition to that, about the western 2/3 of North Dakota, no travel advised here. And while Duluth has been picking up about a foot of snow, now you've transitioned over to some icy conditions. Twin Cities have been getting off pretty easy. You came out with about 1/2 inch of snowfall, and mostly has been a rain event for you up to this point. But snow is going to be moving in as the upper part of this system, the colder air aloft, is going to start to swing through. It's still going to take its time doing so. We're still going to be dealing with this into your Friday across parts of the upper Midwest. So snowfall totals, this is what we're expected on top of what you have already received. So we could still get 8 to 12 inches in the eastern Dakotas. We could still get a foot plus in the northern parts of Wisconsin. And look at the North Shore here of Minnesota, north of Duluth, up towards Grand Marais. You could still be getting a foot and a half of snowfall, and blizzard warnings still remaining in effect. Now, our next concern going forward is the icy conditions that are already beginning to develop tonight. We've got ice storm warnings in effect for especially the higher elevations in the Shenandoah Valley on up into parts of the Alleghenies here into Pennsylvania. Notice some of that pink that's beginning to develop right along the Virginia-West Virginia state line. That's going to overspread this region into the Shenandoah Valley areas west of Washington, D.C. Could get some significant icing by tomorrow morning. In fact, some of the D.C. Metro, Virginia Metro outside of D.C. schools are announcing that they are going to be delaying the start of school tomorrow because they're concerned about those icy conditions. So notice temperatures are kind of borderline in some of these areas already. They're going to continue to drop tonight. And keep in mind, we've got a lot of valleys in here where cold air can settle in and it's very difficult to scour out. So freezing rain may end up amounting to about 3/4 of an inch of ice. That can be crippling. Folks here need to be prepared for power outages. The interior of the Northeast, though, is going to end up with a lot of snow.
Where can you save time shopping and spend quality time at the same time? Lowe's, actually. This holiday season, experience the magic of Winterfest.
This winter, meet the heroes of performance. Only available at the Acura Season of Performance.
Get $400 when you pair your Peloton bike, Bike Plus, or Tread with accessories, like cycling shoes, dumbbells, and more. It's Peloton's gift to you. Visit onepeloton.com. Terms apply.
This right here is confidence in a bottle.
Not only does it change you on the outside, but something on the inside, knowing that you're looking better.
It makes me feel so much more confident than I've ever felt in my life.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Well, today we're going to see one for ourselves and let you be the judge. It's called Plexiderm, and lifestyle expert Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video, and you'll notice the model has bags underneath his eyes and some sagging, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face, and that's how easy it is.
All right, what's the active ingredient?
Okay, so it's silicates that are minerals found in shale rock, and what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes in as little as 10 minutes, no prescriptions, and very little effort. Even watching the video, this is a real it's a model, but it's a real guy with real bags underneath his eyes.
My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera. This is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. Feels great. Looks even better.
And I did this to my father. We were at home. So we applied it to his under eye bags. And let me tell you, we were so excited. In under 10 minutes, they visibly disappeared from view. And now it is literally part of both of our daily routines. He calls me every single month saying, "Hey, Annette, I'm out of Plexiderm, please send me more." And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles. The way you want to do it is you want to have a clean, dry face. You use a small amount because it's so powerful. You have high school reunions, you have events you want to go to, you want to look years younger, this is it.
This holiday season is the best time to try Plexiderm at our startup price of only $14.95. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Oh, what a good time we will have. You can make it happen,
Voltaren, the joy of movement.
An ongoing tornado outbreak in the south tonight. Tornadoes reported across at least 3 states, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. We also saw tornadoes yesterday in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and today in New Orleans. These photos, take a look at them. We just got from the fire department in the city, and take a look. We're going to get an update on the situation there in just minutes. Many homes and businesses have been affected. I'm meteorologist Jackie Jarris. I'm alongside meteorologist Chris Bruin and meteorologist Chris Warren. We've got a lot to get through tonight, but first we want to get to Chris Warren right now. He is on the radar as we still have active watches and warnings in effect.
Yeah, still some tornado warnings to get to, and it's not over yet. Still have hours to go before the threat will considerably lessen here. It has quite a bit compared to what was going on about 4 or 5 hours ago. But that being said, it was really, really bad 4 or 5 hours ago. So the threat is still there with these tornado warnings here in Alabama and in Florida right now. So these tornado warnings right now, as we start off here in Clark and Washington counties, these tornado warnings in effect until 7:45. This particular one for Jackson, Wager, and Wagerville right now. And here is the rotation associated with this at the end of one of the warnings, and now here's the new warning for this. And through time here, if you get an approximation of when these are going to be, it's really on top of you right now, when they're going to be arriving in Carson, on top of you in Carson, and then Jackson in about 5 or 6 minutes, and then Walker Springs, Grove Hill, Dickinson as well, if it does hold together that long. But certainly seeing some of that rotation right now associated with this storm as it continues to move off in the northeasterly direction. And then this scooting just to the west of Interstate 65 here, well southwest of Montgomery in Butler County, threatening Greenville right now if it does get to the end of where the warning location is. And this too is showing some rotation. There has been quite a bit of rotating storms and quite a bit of tornadoes already starting yesterday, throughout the day today, and continuing tonight. And that's what you see here. Shacklesville, Manningham, Searcy, Fort Deposit, and Calhoun all within this. If it does last that long, if it does, the warning does get extended. Seeing some very heavy rain right now in Apalachicola associated with a severe thunderstorm warning. In Liberty County, though, an observed tornado warning currently in effect here. Very tight rotation showing up here. This is to the west, or to the east, excuse me, of Route 65 or south, depending on how you want to say it, what your perspective is here. But this associated with that rotation, this shows us there's likely debris in the air. So the correlation coefficient is where we look at the raindrops. This is the raindrops movements, right? So if you have the movement of the raindrops going toward the radar, and you see the swoop right there, so going toward the radar, and then the movement of the raindrops going away from the radar right there, and really tight rotation right in here, the green and the red right next to each other. And unfortunately, as Dalton switches over, it really illustrates what you have here, and that would be something in the atmosphere that's not raindrops. So all of this red over here would be the same type of precipitation. Then there's something else. Sometimes you'll get a little bit of noise in there, especially on the edges, but when it is like a hole, or what we'll call a dropout, there's something in the atmosphere, whether it's leaves or parts of trees or even parts of structures in the atmosphere. You put those together, you add it up, and that's how you get the observed tornado, radar observed tornado here. So a serious situation. Take cover right now if you are within this area. And unfortunately, Jackie, yesterday and again today, we have seen the destruction and the very sad and unfortunate results of this kind of weather.
It's been heartbreaking for sure. More than a dozen tornadoes have been confirmed concerned. We think many more will be as we're able to sort through all the data, and the National Weather Service goes out and surveys the damage as well. Now, one of which was a tornado that touched down in the New Orleans metro area earlier today. It touched down on the West Bank and then moved up towards Arabi earlier this evening. That's the same city that was slammed by an EF3 tornado just this year in the month of March. The Weather Channel's Justin Michaels has just arrived in Arabi with the latest on the damage there. And Justin, we know, that this is a fluid situation. There's some information we just don't know. Give us an idea of what it looks like where you are. Just how bad is it?
Well, Jackie, it's amazing. I saw Stu Ostro, one of our behind-the-scenes meteorologists, put out a tweet earlier today where it shows the paths of those two tornadoes nearly 8 months apart to the day cross right over Arabi. Shocking to see that. And then when you get here and you see the destruction on the ground and you see houses again here in Arabi looking like that. In fact, where we're standing right now is basically the cross section of the two paths of the two tornadoes 8 months apart. And though this one is nowhere near as bad as the last one, no injuries, no deaths associated with this. That's the best news. There is certainly property damage, and people will continue to tell this story. It's so fresh right now, including for people who are part of parish government. Let's talk to Ronnie Alonzo. He's the Chief Administrative Officer for St. Bernard Parish. But also, Ronnie, more importantly for tonight, you live right on this street.
Absolutely.
Tell me what this was like as another tornado hits Arabi.
It's stressful, mentally taxing, and almost unbelievable. It's something that we didn't, you never expected. 8 months, almost 8 months to the day.
When you were in your house and you were watching the storm warnings, you were watching the tornado warnings, you knew there was a threat, and then you heard the threat coming at you. What did you do?
Right. There were people standing on their porches, and I heard that we had just walked outside after watching the news and heard that the tornado was coming between this area and the lower Ninth Ward, which is very close to where it hit last time, exactly where it hit last time. So I ran to the back and just to go look, and I saw I guess it was a rain wall is what it was, but it was grumbling. So you couldn't actually see the tornado. You saw the rain, and there was a grumble, and I heard it hit a building. You could hear the building explode. When the building exploded, I ran in as quick as I could and grabbed my fiance, and we got into the shower and until it passed. And when we were in the shower, you could actually feel it lift the house up off the ground. Lifted it off the ground, you could feel the pressure in your ears. So it was incredibly scary.
When you ran in, grabbed your fiance, I mean, I've never been through that, and most people haven't, thank goodness. You have now lived through it. This community's lived through it now twice in a year. And when you live through it, what's going through your mind?
Well, it's the second time, right? It's the second time we did this. It crossed right over us this time, but it was a little higher last time, but it crossed right over this house and skipped about a block down the street. So it was the same feeling, so I knew it, and I didn't like it, right? Obviously, getting it back. What was really weird was once it hit, we thought it was over this time, and we came out of the bathroom, but then there was a second pressure. So it was actually, there was two. Now, how that happens in the weather world, I don't know, but we ran back into the bathroom. I mean, this one was a little shorter. It didn't last as long, and then we came back out.
Ronnie, tell me, the house behind you is in pretty bad shape, no roof. You say people were in all these homes, including that one, when this tornado came through. Are they okay?
They're okay. There were 5 people trapped in. There were, it's a double. There were elderly lady and her son, and there was a younger couple and an infant child. And so we're able to get them out. It's a miracle that they're alive, obviously, because the roof is actually, a lot of the roof is on the floor. But they, what we say is get into the bathroom or get into the room in the middle of your house. When we came into this one, both of them had been in the closets, each one in their bedroom closets, and so they were saved because they were in the closets.
I know that county government assessments are just beginning. The National Weather Service is getting on the ground. So much is being done. It's after dark. There's no power here. What can you tell us that the parish is doing right now, seriously, in the last hour since the storm went through?
Well, we're already in the streets. These streets were already cleaned. Right. Believe it or not, we had crews up and down there around. We're still assessing. We're assessing damage throughout the parish, as well as still going through door-to-door searches in some of these buildings. We had a big building back here, which was a brewery that was destroyed. The gas was just turned off just recently, so you had the gas smell still out in the air. So those types of things are still going on. But the parish will be cleaning up the streets tonight so people can roll through.
Have you been able to process, just as a resident, not as a parish official, not as a leader in this community, just as a man who happens to live here, the fact that this has happened twice in a year?
I just keep saying unbelievable to myself. I mean, that's the word I just keep saying. It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable that you could be hit twice in the same spot by a tornado when we don't get tornadoes, right? We're hurricanes, right? We're prepared every year for hurricanes. We do it over and over and over again. We could do it in our sleep. But to get 2 tornadoes come to the same spot in an 8-month period, it's hard to believe. It's kind of like you have a bullseye, right? You kind of think you have a bullseye on you.
Right. Especially going into Christmas, going into the holidays here.
Yeah, and like some of these people, right? Like some of these people obviously lost everything, where their homes being destroyed. I know we lost all the windows in the cars and we had Christmas gifts in them. So we were in there trying to get the gifts out, put them in plastic bags. Once we realized that the windows were blown out. So yeah, it's hard to imagine these people lost everything. Fortunately, we had just a little damage on our house across the street, but we'll pray for those people.
And so far, thankfully for the community, even though we have a few houses here, a building behind us destroyed, nowhere near the devastation as earlier in the year. That, if there's a silver lining we can talk about right now, it's not like it was in March.
Right. We're not going to have as many houses totally damaged. But I think statewide, from what I understand, there were other areas that were hit this time.
Right.
So across the state, we're going to have a lot, and we have neighbors in St. Charles and other parishes right here on the West Bank of New Orleans and Jefferson that were hit. And, we got to keep them in our thoughts as well.
Sure.
It's crazy because it was really literally the same track. I watched it come over the river 8 months ago in the same exact spot. It's hard to believe.
Because we are so close to the holidays, so close to Christmas and other holidays, people celebrate a very special time of the year. I mean, despite this happening twice, what are you personally thankful for this year?
I'm thankful. It's crazy. I'm just thankful for standing here right now. And it's when I thought about it, I said, somebody asked me a while ago, I said, this is unbelievably. I said, I'm unbelievably stressed right now. I said, but I'm okay. I said, I'm here. And I think that's the way a lot of people feel. These people over here, they're here. And that's last tornado, we had people who lost their lives. This time, you just lost things. And, when you go through Katrina, you go through all those things, everything else just becomes stuff. So it doesn't, I think that's how all of us feel down here in St. Bernard, is that not that we're used to it, but we've gone through it. And really, we have family, we have community, and that's all that really matters.
Ronnie Alonso, we're grateful for you, sir. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Sorry this is happening to your community again, but it seems like everybody's strong here, tight-knit. I mean, everybody's walking around here and hugging each other, and they're in this together.
And they'll be here, and they'll be here tomorrow, and they'll be back, and they'll help each other clean up, and we'll get back.
Ronnie, we're grateful. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. We'll stay in touch, okay? Thank you. So, Jackie, as we send it back into you, I want to send you over here. You can see the home that Ronnie was talking about. Imagine that 5 people were in there, 2 different families. Jackie, they did what we tell them to do. Go to interior closets, go to interior rooms, hunker down in bathtubs. They did what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And Jackie, even in that house, the 5 people in there survived.
Yeah, they have their
Jackie,
lives to thank for it. That's for sure. You heard Ronnie there say that he went in the shower. He and his wife went in the shower, and they were saved as a result of that. So it's so important to get to that interior room and have as many walls as you can between you and the outside walls of your home. Justin, it's interesting to hear Ronnie talk also about how he thought he heard or felt a different pressure. We did see some signatures on Doppler radar that indicated there may have been a very tight secondary area of rotation very near that. It could have been a vortice. We're not really sure. We'll analyze the data and go through that in the days ahead as well.
Sure.
But we know that this was one supercell that actually started down near Gretna, moved through the West Bank area, then came on up by you guys there in Arabi. We're not so sure that some of the other communities that were hit are faring quite as well as Arabi when it comes to injury and the widespread damage. Give us an idea of how widespread it is there in Arabi. I mean, are there homes that are completely gone here? Sure. Is it block after block?
Well, like you heard Ronnie say, they're still doing assessments street after street. It does seem like this is the hardest hit area in Arabi tonight, but those assessments are still ongoing. And I will tell you, the route that our GPSs collectively took us to get here was very different than we would have expected because of what you're talking about, Jackie. Lots of road closures tonight. We couldn't have gotten through the normal ways. We had to kind of loop around and come up from the south and into Arabi. So we are just getting on the ground here. We'll certainly be doing those assessments for the Weather Channel as well and keeping you up to date. But as far as Araby, it's not like it was back in March. If you remember that coverage, Jackie, and I know you do, Araby, a few streets over, about a mile from where we're standing, entire sections of neighborhoods laid to waste. That doesn't seem like it's the case here, but still plenty of cleanup to do. I mean, obviously houses, have to believe that's probably a complete loss. The one behind it might be a complete loss, at least a gut job, if nothing else. Other people, plenty of things to do to clean up. And Jackie, back to your point about maybe two different vortices that came through from the same system. And there's a firsthand account of that. We just had that from Ronnie. Interesting to hear him say after they thought it was over, it wasn't over. They had to go back in again. So you have to believe the National Weather Service will want to hear things like that from people to better understand what actually happened here.
For sure. And another key point I thought he made as well, his description of how there was a wall of rain, but he could hear that rumble. And Justin, a lot of these rotating storms and supercells today have been shrouded in rain so that you can't see the tornado. And just another big reason why it's so important to trust the warnings and get to your safe place. Justin Michaels reporting live for us in Araby, Louisiana. We'll keep checking in with him and get more information for you. The threat is ongoing tonight. We'll update you on the radar in just a moment.
Did you know Google makes a phone? Do you know about its camera? Like the way it fixes blurry photos, magically erases annoying distractions, and even fixes photos taken with your old phone. Now that you know all that, did you know switching has never been easier? Start fixing with Pixel, the only phone engineered by Google. Get Google Pixel 7 for free or up to $800 off Pixel 7 Pro.
At Honda, we know you have to drive through the mud if you want to reach the rainbow. Brave the desert before you find the oasis. Conquer the mountain to see how far your dreams can take you. The all-new CR-V and CR-V Hybrid, part of the Honda line of rugged vehicles.
It's Macy's Gifts You'll Love to Gift sale now with an extra 20% off gifts for all at every price. Plus, everyone gets $10 Macy's money for every $50 spent at Macy's.
Whether you're looking to buy something on the small side or the medium side, or, wow, that's really big, Zillow Home Loans can get you the mortgage you need so you can get the home you want. For financing made simple, there's no place like Zillow.
Wendy's new Italian Mozz is fried mozzarella, garlic knot bun, marinade. You know what? You're just going to want to eat it.
Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new Italian mozzarella chicken sandwich.
Stover's makes you happy full.
Kids, dinner!
With 2 times the meat and 3 kinds of cheese, you can't be anything but happy full. Stouffer's.
I have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now there's Skyrizi. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clearer skin at 4 months after just 2 doses.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to.
Talk to your dermatologist about Skyrizi. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Since being the first to make wipers over a century ago, Trico has protected drivers in all kinds of weather. Torrential downpours, gale force winds, wintry blasts, even when it's raining cats and dogs. Hey, who came up with that phrase anyway? Just imagine if it actually started... All right. No matter what the conditions, Trico wipers maintain maximum windshield contact. For safe, clear driving visibility, be prepared for whatever Mother Nature throws at you with Trico wiper blades. Available at these retailers.
The power of the Weather Channel, now available to everyone. Real-time radar, and so much more. Go to streamtwc.com to start your free 7-day trial.
Hey, girls! Hi. Are you kidding me? Is that for me? How? Oh, can't wait to see what you got your mother.
The BMW Road Home Sales Event. On now.
Hurry in to lease a 2023 BMW X5 xDrive 40i for $859 per month.
For asthma, there's Primatene Mist. When symptoms strike, your airways narrow and there's less breathing room. Primatene Mist is clinically shown to open airways quickly. Get the #1 FDA-approved over-the-counter asthma inhaler and breathe easy again.
For skin as alive as you are, don't settle for silver. Harness the power of 7 moisturizers and 3 vitamins to smooth, heal, and moisturize your dry skin. Gold Bond. Champion your skin.
Currently in our area, 36 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy early, followed by cloudy skies overnight. Low 32. Winds north-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday, rain developing during the afternoon. High 43. Chance of rain 90%. Thursday night, rain and wind. Low 42. Here's our 7-day outlook.
I'm Mike Corey. I travel the world to carve a path for those who aren't afraid to get a little bit dirty.
There's a cocktail of excitement and terror.
Long way down.
That is the craziest thing I have ever done in my life.
Come on, let's go on an uncharted adventure.
Good evening, and thank you for staying with us live here on Storm Center. I'm Justin Michaels, live in Arabi, Louisiana tonight, where they're dealing with, yet again, 8 months later, another devastating tornado. Thankfully, so far, as assessments are being done, no injuries and no deaths associated with this tornado. But the memories of what happened here 8 months ago are still very real, when a tornado came through here and did a lot of damage. And what it's amazing to think is that the 2 tornadoes, if you take their paths, the one from March and the one from now, the paths cross right where we're standing right now. Let's talk to Guy McGinnis. He's the parish president here in St. Bernard Parish. Guy, it's amazing to be standing in Arabi again. You have such a strong community, and that is only highlighted by the fact that you're dealing with this again, and people are already in this street. What can we do? Let's get this cleaned up. We're going to move forward again. It's an amazing night to be here to see this, a sad night, but how is your parish right now?
We're doing good. Actually, we're blessed. No deaths, no injuries at this time. It's a miracle with the real-time reporting from media. People know where these storms are. Like you said, you were watching it. It's just kind of eerie being at the same path where that last one was, and watching looking at these 2 homes here, and our citizens having to deal with this again. But they're resilient. They're already helping each other. They're already talking about the recovery. We've met with the governor already. We've met with our state rep. We've met with our state senator, federal delegation. Talked with Congressman Scalise already tonight. We'll have the resources. We're going to start tomorrow morning picking up all of the debris so our citizens can get back to normal life as soon as possible.
Guy, tell me, what have the last 8 months been like? We knew the storm system was coming through here. You guys had to have that in the top of your mind, but so much has been cleaned up so far. What have the last 8 months been like until tonight?
You just do your job. You just do as much good as you can every day. And we finished the cleanup, if you will, of that previous tornado under budget. All of the residents were happy. This community came back. And to have this happen is just, it's devastating. Our citizens tonight are hurting, but starting tomorrow morning, they're going to start working. They're going to start getting their homes back up and going. And we're just going to start this all over again. Right. And this is what we do. And look, it's just awesome to see the coordination of our sheriff's department, our fire department, and what they do for this community. And to see, we knew where that storm was coming. Every inch that it was moving, we knew where it was. If you listen to the radios, I was with our sheriff. So we are blessed with that kind of response. Our citizens are blessed with this cool weather now, not having power tonight for some time. So that's all good stuff. But we're gonna move forward, and I guess this is Tornado Alley now, so maybe you guys can tell us why this is happening all of a sudden in Araby, Louisiana.
Right. I mean, we're dealing. It's just like everybody said. We're so used to dealing with hurricanes here. Now it seems like tornadoes are piling on top.
They are. So we knew it was coming, and like I said, the real-time reporting from our media was spot on, and we're looking forward to recovery during this holiday season with all of our families. We already see tonight in this neighborhood, people are working together, so we want to make sure we're there for them.
Parish President Guy McGinnis,
all right,
so
Justin.
grateful for you. Thank you for your time, and thank you so much for just being with us. I know it's got to be stressful being here, but again, you see, I mean, look at these guys right over here. Yep. They are ready to start working. They've got literally tools in hand. What can we do? That's great, right?
It really is. It's heartwarming. So I'm talk with these guys tonight and make sure they're safe. Very good. We got to make sure all these people are safe.
Guy, thank you so much. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Thank you. So, Chris, I mean, already on the ground here in Louisiana, the help is here. The work is being done already, but we know that those assessments are still being done, Chris. They are literally going house by house, street by street, making sure people are okay, and they're going to be doing that all night until everybody's accounted for. We know at least one person has had to go to the hospital, a lady down the street here. Her son was telling me that he thinks that maybe the stress of this may have set off some sort of a health emergency for her. She's fine, but she was taken to the hospital. And from what I have heard so far, that is the only person that has been injured at this point that might have some relation to this storm. So Araby breathing a sigh of relief for that, but also wondering what are the chances of 2 tornadoes in the course of 8 months meeting right over this small community. It really makes your mind wander. Chris, into you.
All right, Justin Michaels, I think for now the short answer there is just some really bad luck, unfortunately, here, as we're seeing right now, trying to keep you ahead of the storms. If you live in the south and you have a tornado watch right now, you may be getting a tornado warning, which would mean there's a tornado happening or about to happen. Right now, a few tornado warnings to tell you about. One here, and right here. We start off southwest of Montgomery. This tornado warning is in effect here, and this is just to the northwest of Greenville, where the rotation is right now. And as we head over here west of there, another tornado warning in effect until 7:45. And then this one just outside of Apalachicola, right in there, some pretty tight rotation. Take cover if you're within any tornado warning right now.
MS tries to stop me. MS is like riding into headwinds, but I keep pushing forward.
Does MS define me? No, it does not.
I take Ocrevus, an infusion treatment that's 2 times a year.
A prescription for adults with relapsing or primary progressive forms of multiple sclerosis, Ocrevus is proven effective in reducing relapses in RMS and slowing disability progression and reducing brain lesions in RMS and PPMS.
Don't take Ocrevus if you've had a life-threatening allergic reaction to it or have Hep B. Tell your doctor about vaccinations or if you've had colitis or Hep B, as Hep B could come back. A common side effect of Ocrevus is infusion reactions. Some may be serious and require hospitalization. It can increase your risk of infections, which can be serious and may decrease some immunoglobulins. PML is rare but may happen with Ocrevus. It can lead to disability or death. An increased risk of colitis and cancer, including breast cancer, may exist.
We take Ocrevus. That's more progress, less progression.
Ask your doctor about starting with 2 times a year Ocrevus.
For COPD, ask your doctor about Breztri. Breztri gives you better breathing, symptom improvement, and helps prevent flare-ups.
Breztri won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. It is not for asthma. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Don't take Breztri more than prescribed. Breztri may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur.
If you have COPD, ask your doctor about Breztri.
Come on, old beauty.
Hey. Are you ready?
Get your Macy's order faster with curbside pickup for your hosting essentials, in-store pickup for the big party, or same-day delivery for that last-minute gift. Get just what you need when you need it at Macy's.
Don't get an EV for the E. Get it because it pins you to your seat and takes your breath away. Nissan EVs aren't just electric, they electrify you.
Take it to the future.
This holiday season, give your family the gift that keeps on going.
Her very own Energizer Bunny?
Energizer Ultimate Lithium. The #1 longest lasting AA battery.
Flu symptoms hit harder than the common cold, so it takes the right tool for the job to keep it together. Now there's new TheraFlu Flu Relief with a max strength fever fighting formula. The right tool for long lasting flu symptom relief. Hot beats flu.
Fairlife brings more to your holiday traditions. It's ultra-filtered milk with 50% more protein, 50% less sugar, and a creamy taste. This season, turn delicious into delicious. Fairlife ultra-filtered milk.
Give a little time for the child within you. Don't be afraid to be young and free. Undo the locks and throw away the keys and hug you and kiss you and love you. Love you. Love you. Love you. Love you.
Our live coverage continues right now in Arabi, Louisiana, after another tornado, the second of the year. Let's talk to the sheriff of St. Bernard Parish, Jimmy Pullman. Sheriff, we're grateful for you coming out and speaking with us tonight. And it's sad that we have to do it again at the scene of a tornado going through this small community.
Yeah, and it's very unusual for a tornado to hit anywhere in our area. In southeast Louisiana, we used to hurricanes coming through our parish, and unfortunately, we didn't have any problems with hurricanes this year, but yet we had to deal with 2 tornadoes.
With your sheriff's deputies stepping up so high to the mark 8 months ago and serving as the public servants you all are throughout the entire year, but then having to deal with these 2 disasters in 1 year, it's taxing to your entire team.
It is, but we prepared. We knew this bad weather storm was going to be coming through. We had, a couple of days' notice, and we knew if we didn't have any tornadoes, because there was a risk of it, we knew it was going to have either, lots of rain, localized street flooding, those type of things. So we had extra people out. We had our barricades prepared and stop signs to be deployed wherever we had lost power. And, I'm glad we was prepared for it. But it took a coordinated effort between the sheriff's office and the local fire department. They had a wonderful response, and they got on the scenes very quick.
Sheriff, going through this night, power is out, at least in most of the parish, at least where we are right now. I'm not sure what the extent of it is across the parish, but your request, you're the chief law enforcement officer here, your safety, or their safety, everybody who lives here's safety is your top priority. What's your request to people going through this night? Well,
we're going to saturate this area that has a loss of power and damage, as a result of the tornado, but all I can tell you, if you don't have any business back here in this area, just stay out of the area. It's not any sightseeing time throughout the night. We're going to have a lot of cops back here. They're going to be patrolling the area. And if you come back here and you don't have business back here, you're going to be engaged by the sheriff's office.
Sheriff Jimmy Pullman, St. Bernard Parish. We're grateful for you, sir. Thank you for your time, and thank you for your service as well, sir. Thank you very much. It's just the outpouring of support here already is wonderful to see. Of course, elected officials, also the sheriff is here, but also there are crews. There are groups of residents who live here, Chris, who, like I said in the last commercial break, Chris, who they have tools in hand ready to start the work that needs to be done. Now, of course, it is dark. We've got lots of law enforcement lights and headlights right now. That's all lit up back there. That's probably some of the worst of the damage, the roof being taken off that home. But people are ready to get this street cleaned up and moving forward again. And again, Chris, the best thing we can tell you tonight, no injuries, no deaths, at least in this part of Louisiana with this terrible outbreak of tornadoes.
Hey,
Chris,
Justin, oftentimes you're limited to one location. You've got a spotlight. We see some damage. Can you give us some perspective as you were arriving there on the scene, what you've witnessed? Because oftentimes, especially at night and especially just after it came through, it's going to be a while before we have a full scope. Is there any other light you can shed on that's currently in the darkness?
Well, I can tell you about a block and a half away, there was a large building, a brewery that we understand was destroyed. I saw that with some headlights that were driving by it, and you can see that building is all but completely flattened. Something to the point that the sheriff made, Chris, about how much law enforcement presence there is on the streets here in Arabi and St. Bernard Parish tonight. When you drive around, all you see are red and blue lights on every single street. So for any of the criminal element who might be saying, hey, we're going to Arabi tonight, I wouldn't do that. They are on every single street, every single block, everywhere you go, you see red and blue lights across every street that we came across here in St. Bernard Parish. So they're going to be protecting the area until the power can get restored. People say they're going to either be staying in their homes or at least sitting here for the better part of the night. But you have to believe, Chris, for the people who live here in Arabi, memories of 8 months ago, March 22nd of this year is when that deadly tornado came through here. You have to believe that tonight's going to be a pretty sleepless night for people who call this part of the country home. Chris, and to you.
All right, Justin Michaels, thank you so much for that perspective. Still a lot to learn, and Justin there on the ground helping out with that, helping to paint the full picture there. I want to show you what is still happening right now. We've been talking about the tornado warnings, but breaking right now, severe thunderstorm warning, Mobile, Alabama. You can see right in here, notice how the yellow and the red just sort of goes away. That was about when I think a 61 mile per hour wind gust was reported at the Mobile Regional Airport here. And so that threat for more damaging winds extending all the way across and through this yellow outlined area, the severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect. And tornado possible, that is still a tag there from the National Weather Service. And here is a tornado warning ongoing here in Franklin County. Take cover right now as this storm is showing some very obvious signs of rotation. We'll be right back here on the Weather Channel.
Your heart is the beat of life. If you have heart failure, entrust your heart to Entresto, a medicine specifically made for heart failure. Entresto is the #1 heart failure brand prescribed by cardiologists. It was proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Heart failure can change the structure of your heart, so it may not work as well. Entresto helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. And just imagine where a healthier heart could take you. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto for heart failure. And trust your heart to Entresto.
Oh, there's a Stonewall.
Kia, movement that inspires.
More truck owners are switching to Ram, which means more people with holiday spirit are switching to Ram. And more people with not so much. More people who love the cold. And more people who don't. More good neighbors. And more people covered in tree sap are switching to Ram.
Now get $3,000 total bonus cash plus no monthly payments for 90 days on the 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab.
Hey, Peloton, step into your power. Let's go.
Ah, you didn't come to work out. You came to outwork. Let's get it. Yo. Boom.
Come on, you got this.
Everyday man's on the
Hey,
block.
no challenge, no change.
The ting goes. Let's go.
Get $400 off Peloton packages. Terms apply.
Oh, what a good time we will have. You can make it happen,
Voltaren, the joy of movement. Why are 93% of Sleep Number sleepers satisfied with their bed? Maybe it's because you can adjust your comfort and firmness on either side, your Sleep Number setting, to help relieve pressure points and keep you both comfortable all night. Save $1,000 on a most popular Sleep Number 360 smart bed. Only for a limited time.
This holiday season, give your family the gift that keeps on going.
Our very own Energizer Bunny.
Energizer Ultimate Lithium. The #1 longest lasting AA battery.
Ah, humbug. My signal is totally ghosting me.
'Tis the season to switch to Verizon.
This holiday season, Verizon gives you the new iPhone 14 Pro, plus Apple Watch SE, iPad, and Beats Fit Pro, all on us. And unlimited plans for everyone start at just $35 a line. Verizon.
Right now, an ongoing severe weather and tornado outbreak across the south. I'm meteorologist Chris Warren, along with meteorologist Jackie Jarris and meteorologist Chris Bruin, gathering the very latest information on what is happening here and around the United States. Severe thunderstorm warning still in effect for a huge part here of southern Alabama, coastal areas all the way over to the panhandle of Florida. Also a tornado warning here outside of Apalachicola, just north of West Point as well. This is for Franklin County, as you see here, the area that has the green and the bright red or the orange colors right next to each other, right in here. That is where there is currently the tightest rotation associated with that storm. And back here, this does say tornado possible. So within this area here, a pretty segmented line, there is still the possibility, while we could see more damaging winds. We've seen winds in Mobile stronger than 60 miles an hour. Could see even stronger than that if there's a quick spin up with a tornado. Also watching a pretty healthy storm that's moving in across Pensacola Beach with a little bit of rotation also. And another thing here, it's dark, it's nighttime, so if it was daytime, may have had a report of a water spout, even something you might be able to see. But another one of the problems with severe weather and trying to warn people about severe weather at night is you just can't get visual confirmation. Have to rely on what we see here on the radar. And in this case, the radar, while it's pretty far away, so we're looking at some pretty high rotation up in the cloud. Nonetheless, seeing some rotation right there will let you know if that does get some attention from one of the National Weather Service offices here. Tornado watch does remain in effect until 1 o'clock in the morning for a lot of southern Alabama, the panhandle of Florida, and even parts of southwest Georgia. There is a lot of cool air, stabilizing cool air as the wind direction is changing behind the front once it comes in. But out ahead of the front, you still have this warm and humid air. The humid air, of course, working as the fuel essentially for these storms. Again, tornado watches starting to drop as that cold front does move along, but still the tornado watch in effect here for the southwest part of Alabama. This in effect until 8 o'clock. So this is coming to an end, and as we saw with the rain and the storms that are moving through here at the moment, just got to get through that bit before we get to take a little bit of a breather, but still got a ways to go here. And it's not just damaging winds, Jackie, and tornadoes as the threat tonight.
Yeah, it's flooding as well, and we've seen a fair amount of that, about 5 million under flood alert still at this hour. This is a look at conditions earlier today in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. There were numerous roads that were closed off. There were some water rescues that had to take place after vehicles had driven through the floodwaters and people ended up getting stuck. That flash flood warning has been allowed to expire right now, but we're still keeping an eye on the risk for heavy rain and flash flooding across parts of Alabama, into the panhandle of Florida, and on into parts of Georgia. Now, going forward through the rest of tonight, we could still see flooding, and that is especially dangerous in the nighttime hours when you can't see very well. It's hard to tell if that's water in front of the road or is that shine from the rain that's coming down, and just how deep might that water be. So let's talk about the timing of all of this as this line continues to progress off towards the east. Getting a little concerned about the appendage and the shape on that particular cell to the north of Mobile and Alabama. I would be treating this severe thunderstorm warning, by the way, like a tornado warning and just playing it safe. But let's talk about how these storms are going to evolve and move on through here. There may be a couple of areas of rain and storms that move on through, but I think by 10, 11 o'clock tonight, this passes east of you in in Mobile, Pensacola, you'll still see some active weather by then. Now, as we head into tomorrow, and this does include the very early morning hours, by the way, we still have a tornado threat. Notice our torcons are lower than what we've been dealing with today. They're at a 2 and a 3. Remember, the scale goes all the way up to 10, and today we had torcons of 7, and we had a lot of tornadoes. We had a lot of damage today with ground truth tornadoes on video, storm chasers, all of it. Tomorrow, if there's a number, there's a risk. So you still need to be vigilant. You need to be aware and alert and have a plan in place from Lake City to Jacksonville to Gainesville through the whole Big Bend area, even down along parts of the I-4 corridor. You're going to be at risk. Midnight tonight, this is our future radar here. There's Tallahassee showing you still potential supercells off here towards our west. So they're going to be coming in overnight while you're sleeping. You'll need a way to get alerted just in case, something that's going to wake you up. Apalachicola, Tallahassee. This is 3 o'clock in the morning. This will be getting closer to the I-75 corridor as we head towards 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Jacksonville, you might start out with rain, and then thunderstorms are going to be rolling on through with that cold front. In fact, look at this. That's the model depicting the cold front that's trying to swing through the area. You can see the showers and thunderstorms will likely linger through early, maybe the middle of the afternoon before things clear out there. Let's take you down into Central Florida now. There you can see Tampa, Spring Hill, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Venice. That's where torcons are of a 3. A little farther east inland, that's where we have torcons of a 2. Now, early in the morning, already 8, 9 o'clock, we'll start to see showers and thunderstorms move in from the north and west. The lunch hour, tomorrow's not going to be a good day to get out during lunch. Plan on bringing your lunch or staying inside. And there you can see the storms exiting the region by about 8 o'clock in the evening. So still one more day with severe weather to go. Chris?
Well, the system that's bringing tornadoes and damaging storms to the south is also bringing blizzard conditions to parts of the northern plains and Midwest. Nearly 50 million people are under winter alerts tonight. Winter Storm Diaz is slamming the Dakotas with snow and tropical storm force wind gusts. And it's not done yet. The Northeast can expect ice and snow.
If you still have symptoms of moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis or active psoriatic arthritis after a TNF blocker like Humira or Enbrel, Rinvoq is different and may help.
Stand up to your symptoms with Rinvoq. Rinvoq is a once-daily pill that tackles pain, stiffness, swelling. For some, Rinvoq significantly reduces RA and PSA fatigue.
It can stop further irreversible joint damage, and Rinvoq can leave skin clear or almost clear in PSA. That's Rinvoq Relief.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers including lymphoma and skin cancer, death, heart attack, stroke, and tears in the stomach or intestines occurred. People 50 and older with at least one heart disease risk factor have higher risks. Don't take if allergic to Rinvoq, as serious reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Ask your rheumatologist for Rinvoq. Rinvoq. Make it your mission. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
When you get a chip in your windshield, trust Safelight. This couple was headed to the farmer's market. When they got a chip, they drove to Safelight for a same-day repair. And with their insurance, it was no cost to them. That's service the way you need it.
Safelight Repair, Safelight Replace.
Stover's makes you happy full.
Kids, dinner!
With 2 times the meat and 3 kinds of cheese, you can't be anything but happy full. Stouffer's.
At Honda, we know you have to drive through the mud if you want to reach the rainbow. Brave the desert before you find the oasis. Conquer the mountain to see how far your dreams can take you. The all-new CR-V and CR-V Hybrid, part of the Honda line of rugged vehicles.
Hey man, are you Alpocalypse 423?
Yeah.
What's the deal? You got me running all over the place, day and night.
Oh, I have Spectrum now. Fastest Wi-Fi speeds around.
Oh, that's cool. How about we just pump the brakes though, now and again? This thing's like 2,000 pounds. You want to hold it?
Yes, I do.
Well, you can't, because it'll rip your arms right out of your body. And then how are you going to play your game?
I'm sorry, it's just really, really fast.
What if I just split your house in half with my Warhammer?
It still works out here, so it's
pointless.
Spectrum One delivers the fastest Wi-Fi speeds in the nation. That's game-changing speed. That's Spectrum One.
For years, New Yorkers only had one way to move, with cardboard and tape. Those were dark days for people on their way to new places. But now, there's a new way, convenience. Our bins make packing and moving easy. Book a clean green move today and put convenience into your life. And when your move is complete, we pick them up. Call today or visit our site. Operators are standing by.
Anything like that before.
Welcome home.
I wasn't expecting this. Oh yeah, there's a lot of tension on that bad boy.
In seconds, it was basically on top of us.
Oh, that is the craziest thing I have ever done in my life.
Currently in our area, 36 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy early, followed by cloudy skies overnight. Low 32. Winds north-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday, rain developing during the afternoon. High 43. Chance of rain 90%. Thursday night, rain and wind. Low 42. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Right now here on Storm Center, I'm meteorologist Chris Warren, along with meteorologist Jackie Ajeris, tracking a severe weather threat right now that does remain across the south. There is a severe thunderstorm warning and a tornado warning right now. So hopefully this trend of fewer warnings will continue. But in spite of that, in spite that there's fewer, they're still dangerous. There's still the potential for some damaging winds and also perhaps even some of these individual segments in there could be some rotation, could be tornadoes. This certainly showing signs that a tornado is in progress. This tornado warning you see right here in Franklin County in the Florida Panhandle. There's a bit of a hook right here. Also a very obvious rotation. The only thing we hope for is you look around at the map, but there's not a lot of development here. I can't say exactly what's going on underneath here, but just got to hope that this likely tornado that's in progress right now misses land. And Dalton's bringing it back here. And unfortunately, there might be something. Do you see that, Dalton? There's something in there. So again, we are tracking this and watching this, the correlation coefficient, looking to see if there's anything up in the atmosphere for, getting up above the ground, if there's any leaves or anything, any form of debris. Another look at the severe thunderstorm warning, and this is in effect until 8:30. Does include Mobile down to Gulf Shores. So anywhere along this segment, some of the strongest winds would likely be associated with some of that heavier rain that you see here, and possibly even the potential that there could be a quick spin up, possibly a tornado as well. So again, this right here, all associated with a much larger system. And let's go to Jackie with a closer look at that, because even that alone, Jackie's been packing a very huge punch.
Yeah, it's been awful, and it's been such a prolonged event for some folks across the upper Midwest and northern plains, as Winter Storm Diaz has been hitting this region for several days with wind gusts, heavy snow. Those winds have been topping 60 miles per hour. This is the snow that came down in Sandstone, Minnesota, and there's even a lot more where that came from. So let's show you where the snow is now. And as we take a look at the active radar along with the wind gusts, it doesn't look all that bad, does it? You just see snow out there and not even a lot of heavy banding of snow. But some of these areas have already seen between 1 and 2 feet. And with wind gusts still out there around 40 miles per hour, it is blowing everything all over the place. And we've got drifts, snow drifts that are up over 6 feet tall. Parts of I-90 still shut down. Parts of I-29 still shut down. So the Dakotas have really been taking this us on the chin here the last day and a half or so. And still, eastern parts of that region could get another 8 to 12. Look at the Arrowhead of Minnesota up on the North Shore. Over a foot of snow still possible. And same story here in northern Wisconsin. Not so much in Milwaukee, not so much in Chicago and Des Moines, Mason City, Twin Cities, a little bit on the backside of all that. But that lingers through Friday. Now, as for the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic, this is getting started already. In fact, we're already beginning to see some light freezing rain begin to move into West Virginia and Virginia. Ice storm warnings are in effect here across parts of Shenandoah Valley. We've got advisories for D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia. You may have a very difficult commute tomorrow morning because of icy roads. And when I say freezing rain, that's the stuff that comes down as liquid. It's raining outside, but it has freezing conditions at the surface. So the road, the trees, the power lines, your vehicle, your sidewalk, all get glazed with ice. So watch out for that when you head out the door right away in the morning if you're going to the mailbox or whatever. A lot of the schools are delaying the start tomorrow in the D.C. metro area as a result of that. So that's the pink that you can see here already beginning to push in. And keep in mind, too, while some of these temperatures that you're seeing, these are in the cities. So outside of the cities, the temperatures are generally a little bit cooler because of the urban heat island effect. But also, we've got a lot of terrain and a lot of hills, and the valley areas tend to be colder. And it's tough to scour that out. So that freezing rain may very well linger. And most areas should be done by lunch, but some areas are going to go well into the afternoon. And that's why we could get ice accretion up to about 3/4 of an inch, which could nearly cripple an area and cause power outages. So if you live in these pink zones, you need to be prepared for that tomorrow and just stay home if you can do that at all. Now, we also have a snow aspect to all of this, and that's going to be beginning to develop, especially as we progress through the day, get into interior parts of the Northeast, and especially with elevation. So we'll start to see some of the big snows move in late tomorrow and into your Friday, and the snowfall total is expected to be really impressive. This will likely be the biggest snow of the season in some of these areas, from Albany to Syracuse up towards Burlington. The highest elevations could get a foot of snow. Now, if you're a snow lover and you live along Interstate 95, this is not the event for you. This is going to be rain, and in some cases, like I mentioned, it's going to be freezing rain. And with the upper level portion of the storm waiting to swing on through, this isn't going to be done altogether until we head into your Saturday. So there you can see the evolution and the progress of all this. This is Friday at 5 o'clock. Know that there will be travel delays. There are going to be big time problems on some of the interstates. The New York State Thruway, I think we're going to have problems with. And we'll also have issues on the interstates in Vermont, New Hampshire, and into parts of Maine. Travel delays expected at the airports and a lot of the big cities in the Northeast. Even though your rain, we're going to have issues there, and of course de-icing in spots in the interior. We'll have one more update on the radar after this.
Head up, nothing gonna take me down. Feel the pressure building inside my bones. It feeds my body, it's liquid gold. Let go.
Kim Crawford, make it amazing. Did you know Google makes a phone? Sure, it's beautiful, but it does things other phones can't do, which is how it helps take annoying items out of pictures. Introducing our newest Google Pixel phones. Get Google Pixel 7 for free or up to $800 off Pixel 7 Pro.
Daddy, when you coming home?
Soon, sweetheart. Soon.
Luxury that lets you feel infinitely you.
At Walmart, save on thousands of gifts for everyone on your list. The savings are here all month long. Plus, get delivery on your gifts in as fast as 1 hour, right up to Christmas Eve. Shop Walmart online or in-store today.
I brought in Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein.
Those who tried me felt more energy in just 2 weeks. Here, I'll take that.
Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar, and nutrients for immune health.
Where can you save time shopping and spend quality time at the same time? Lowe's, actually. The final days of Winterfest are here. Save now before they're gone.
Yo, 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 yo. Yo, yo, yo. Yo, yo, yo. Yo, yo, yo. Yo.
How did
Kellogg's combined crunchy oat clusters with a touch of honey, plump, juicy raisins, and tasty fiber into one delicious cereal? It took a lot of brandstorming. Get it? Kellogg's Raisin Bran Crunch. 2 scoops of delicious.
MS tries to stop me. MS is like riding into headwinds, but I keep pushing forward.
Does MS define me? No, it does not.
I take Ocrevus, an infusion treatment that's 2 times a year.
A prescription for adults with relapsing or primary progressive forms of multiple sclerosis, Ocrevus is proven effective in reducing relapses in RMS and slowing disability progression and reducing brain lesions in RMS and PPMS.
Don't take Ocrevus if you've had a life-threatening allergic reaction to it or have Hep B. Tell your doctor about vaccinations or if you've had colitis or Hep B, as Hep B could come back. A common side effect of Ocrevus is infusion reactions. Some may be serious and require hospitalization. It can increase your risk of infections, which can be serious and may decrease some immunoglobulins. PML is rare but may happen with Ocrevus. It can lead to disability or death. An increased risk of colitis and cancer, including breast cancer, may exist.
We take Ocrevus.
That's more progress, less progression.
Ask your doctor about starting with 2 times a year Ocrevus.
No matter what you're doing right now across parts of the South, big heads up, there could be some severe weather heading your way, and that is what we see right now. Couple warnings to tell you about. Still tracking the severe thunderstorm warning and 1 tornado warning right now. This tornado warning northeast of Apalachicola, the hook right here associated with this supercell thunderstorm, and some rotation right here indicating that there's likely a tornado in progress right now. Also, this severe thunderstorm warning has a history of producing winds stronger than 60 miles an hour as it was moving across and just outside of Mobile. Still, the tag from the National Weather Service says tornado possible with that, and believable considering that the conditions do remain favorable for the development for more rotating storms that could produce tornadoes. Tornado watch still in effect for these locations until 1 o'clock in the morning. High resolution future radar shows these storms will continue. Some of the strongest ones still ongoing midnight tonight Central Time from south of Atlanta all the way down to Panama City, Dothan, Eufaula. All of these areas will still be in for a pretty stormy night. Here is daybreak, or just before daybreak, I should say, as the storm threat, some of the stronger storms continuing through Georgia, the Carolinas, and down through the Florida Peninsula.
And now it's time for the latest winter storm update. Here's how the storm is progressing and what to expect in your area. Stay tuned to the Weather Channel for the most up-to-date information.
Three, two, one, go.
Welcome to Wales, just west of England. It's a country full of castles and ancient history with its own language and culture. Also, it's a country full of surprises.
In this uncharted adventure, we dive deep below the surface to explore sunken ruins. We touch the sky in an acrobatic glider and learn about the folk tales of this incredible country. If you're ready, let's go on an uncharted adventure of Wales.
The land of dragons and legends.
I'm Mike Corey. I'm an explorer and a biologist. I travel the world to carve a path for those who aren't afraid to leave the trail. Let's go on an uncharted adventure. Wales is located on the island of Great Britain and has a population of about 3.17 million people and is slightly smaller than the state of New Jersey at 8,024 square miles. Known for its rugged coastline and Celtic culture, Wales is also home to the longest place name in Europe and one of the oldest languages in the continent, Welsh, which dates back to between 400 and 700 AD. With over 400 castles, 4 UNESCO heritage sites, and 3 national parks, Wales is the perfect combination of history and of exploration. For our first adventure, we make our way to the outskirts of Denbigh for a thrilling and eco-friendly activity.
Any day I get to wear a parachute on set is a good day on the show. This, obviously, is an airplane. It flies in the sky. However, there's many ways to fly in the sky. You can use a propeller, or you can use a glider. That's the plan, but it isn't any ordinary glider, it's an acrobatic glider. I'm gonna jump in with Gully. He's gonna show me a ride.
So the reason for you sitting in the front in this glider is because it's a training glider. The instructor sits in the middle. The instructor's right on the centre point of balance.
Yeah.
So when the instructor gets out to send you solo, the airplane flies in the same way. So there we go, you're in.
I'm ready.
I'm going to go and get in the back.
Okay.
And then, right, so shut in the lid. Down it goes.
Yep.
And just move those two to the front.
This goes this way.
Yeah.
Gliding is a popular activity in the UK. They formed the British Gliding Association and have many clubs throughout the nation. Countries like Wales and most of Scotland encounter some of their best soaring conditions during the autumn and the spring. The optimal weather conditions for gliding are sunny and not too windy. Our takeoff method is called aerotow, which means a powered plane tows a glider into the air using a long rope. Once in the air, glide ratio is what measures the performance of an aircraft's glide. Many modern gliders have a glide ratio better than 60:1. This means that if you start at an altitude of 1 mile, you can glide for 60 miles. In comparison, a Boeing 747 has a 15:1 glide ratio.
Drone guy, are you ready?
Yeah, we're ready to go.
All right.
All out, all out.
Away we go.
And we're now airborne.
Wow, yep, are we ever?
So we're just going to follow that red aeroplane now.
Yeah.
Wherever he goes, we have to go with him.
I like it already. You can see a lot of whales from up here. This is spectacular up here. This is the fantasy of flying. All right, hey, it's your pilot in training, Mike in the front. We got Gully in the back, who's really in charge of the plane. We have a shared stick, so Gully in the back controls that, but it also moves up front. And in the top left, we have our airspeed, right?
That's correct, yeah, our airspeed indicators.
And then on the bottom left, we've got our acceleration up and down.
Yeah.
And then the middle, we have how many G's we're pulling right now?
Yeah, we're pulling 1G, which is normal gravity. And then the top, yeah, that's our altitude.
Which shows 1,200 feet?
Yeah, that's right, 1,200 feet.
Okay. I got some safety switches. What does the blue one do?
The blue one is the air brakes, the big paddles on the wings that when we come to land, you destroy the lip on the wings a little bit.
And the yellow one, which I've heard I'm able to pull later, detaches us from the tow plane. That releases the cable you can see that goes up to our tow plane. This little line right here, that's kind of like a little mini air sock. So what's that about?
Yeah, the piece of string, it shows the pilot of the glider that it's flying accurately. If I was flying inaccurately, the string would be out to one side like that.
Like this, over to the right.
Yeah, it means I'm flying sideways.
And these two red handles?
Oh, they're for emergencies. We briefed on the ground.
Jettisons the cockpit. Well, jettisons the shield, so we're not going to touch that one. That's only in emergencies.
Okay, guys, the tow plane will descend to the straight line. Easy to do a climbing turn to the right.
Copied, Gally.
Copy. Okay, guys, 3.
Go on.
Yeah.
Go on, mate.
Pull it, pull it.
Yeah.
Okay. That all happened so fast.
There we go.
And we're gliding. This is nice.
Isn't it? So we're now purely gliding.
Look at these just towers of clouds below us.
So we will be diving to 110 knots, and then I'll hold it about 3 seconds, and then we'll be pulling into the loop. I will call what I'm doing.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to go to our first loop, Mike.
Do I have anything to do?
No, we'll just sit there and scream.
Sit there and scream. Something I'm very good at. Whoa!
So we're now diving down towards ground.
Listen to that!
Pulling now!
Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, yes! Holy... It's so quiet! It's so quiet! Oh, no, it's so loud! Oh, man! Oh!
We're going to do something a little bit different this time.
Okay.
We're going to do a roll in the loop.
We're doing a roll.
So,
we're doing a roll in the loop. Oh! Oh! We're doing two. We're doing two.
No, we're just pointing up at the airplane up there.
Have you seen my stomach? I think it's somewhere on the floor.
So I'm going to do a stall turn this time, Mike.
Okay.
So I'm going to go straight vertical up.
Okay.
And then we're going to kick the rudder over.
All right. Straight down to the ground. Here we go. Oh, it's so quiet.
Isn't it?
It's so quiet. Straight to the ground. Wow. How can a plane even do this? Okay,
I'm talk you through the loop.
Apparently I can try to do a loop.
So, put your hand on the stick.
Hand on the stick. I am now flying the glider.
Yeah, I want you to lower the nose.
Lower the nose.
Push the nose down. A little bit left stick.
Yeah.
Keep the nose down. Push down. Push down. Push down.
Yeah.
But gently pull. Pull.
I can't believe
hard.
I can do
Pull hard.
this.
And you're doing the loop.